Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku had nightmare. If you guys enjoy this movie, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story 𝐀𝐦 𝐍𝐴 from 𝐴3. So let's start the video. A sunny and clear weekend has finally occurred for Class 1A. Luckily for them, the teachers gave them free homework or no quizzes for Monday. So all they could do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the sunny day which fits for them. Their usual 6 a.m. breakfast changed to 9 a.m. since everyone is sure that none of them would wake up that early. But one was able to wake up at 6 a.m., and it was none other than Class 1A's green bean, Midoriya Izuku. Even if he slept at 1 a.m. last night, his body is now used to waking up early, so the only thing he could do in this situation is to just get up and maybe do something. By 7:30 a.m. he was able to finish his morning routines, only to find out that no one is still awake. Midoriya chuckles and just proceeded to take a quick shower and change of clothes before doing some morning chores. Since it's still early, he might just cook them breakfast for the whole class. Around 8:30 a.m. is where Todoroki came down from the elevator. He yawned and rubbed his eyes as he walks toward the dining room of their dorms. His bed hair is still visible, which makes it obvious that he was not in the mood to fix it. He enters the common room only to smell something so delicious in the area. He quickly went to their dining room only to see Izuku cooking alone by their kitchen. He immediately snaps himself and slaps both of his cheeks. The sound of it was able to make Izuku look back with wide eyes. But it changed to a welcoming smile when he saw Todoroki standing. "Good morning, Todoroki-kun." Izuku greets his dual-quirked friend as he puts another 5 bacons in one large plate. "Good morning, Midoriya." Todoroki greets back as he clears his throat. That seems to be a lot. Todoroki could see around 40 bacons at one large plate. Add 20 eggs at each perspective plates and miso soup by the table. Izuku sheepishly chuckles as he turns off the stove and removes the apron. "I kind of woke up early, here." Izuku replies with a sheepish grin. "After doing my normal routines, I found out that you're all still asleep. So, yeah, is this a bit much?" Todoroki smiles at his antics and shook his head. "I think it's very nice of you to do that. But you should have asked for help from Ida or Yaoyorozu. Or even me." Todoroki finished his sentence by his thoughts. Oh, I don't want that since you're all still asleep." Izuku blushed at the compliment. An idea struck Todoroki as he noticed something missing at the table. "Hey, want me to help with the drinks? Or I'll just do it since you've done a lot now." "No, it's fine. I'll do it." Izuku waves his hand dismissively. I want to help." Todoroki replies back. "I don't want you to do it alone." Before Izuku could even reply, Todoroki already went by the cabinets and took all 20 mugs onto the table. Izuku quickly got something from the refrigerator as their beverage. "Hot chocolate?" Todoroki pointed out. I can also make some orange juice if they want some." "It's fine, I'll handle the hot chocolate. You can make the juice. But what about our thermos? It will take a while." "I'm basically a human thermostat, Midoriya. Thankfully these cups and mugs are both unbreakable for my quirk." Izuku blushed. Yeah, sorry, Todoroki sighs and pats Izuku's hair. The green-haired teen paused and blushed at the sudden touch. "You can always ask for help, Midoriya." Todoroki showed a small yet comforting smile. "If you're open to everyone, then I'm open as well for you." Izuku blushed. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Todoroki-kun." "Oh yeah, the juice." Izuku quickly walks away to make the juice from the kitchen. Todoroki's hand was still hanging from where he patted Izuku's hair. His hand was still trying to grasp that same curly hair within his fingers. "Cute. So cute." Todoroki thoughts as he proceeds to make the hot chocolate. As he heats the mug with his quirk, he sighs. "When will I be brave enough to tell him?" ///////. Whoa, is it Christmas already? Kaminari suddenly exclaims at the array of eggs and bacon at the table. "Whoa, is that miso soup?" Kirishima joined as well in exclaiming at the delicious food. The whole class could only look in awe and drool at the sight of real food on their table. Since classes would always start early, they only had a few times to eat real food. If the schedule is a bit tight, they would only rely on cereals and oatmeal. Only when they knew that they had a lot of free time that a freshly cooked meal would be served. Midoriya-san, did you do all of these? Yaoyorozu asked as she points at the set. Todoroki-kun also helped. Midoriya replies back. But Todoroki shook his head. Midoriya did the cooking. I merely helped him with the drinks. Midoriya shook his head at Todoroki's statement. No, you helped a lot, thank you. But still, Midoriya-kun, you should have called Yaoyorozu and I for some help. Ida scolds the green-haired teen. Uraraka just pats Ida's shoulder. Oh, don't be like that, Ida-kun. Let's just be thankful that Deku-kun made us breakfast. Uraraka-chan is right, Kiro. The whole class sat at their respective chairs in the dining room. Uraraka, however, volunteered to sit beside Ida so Todoroki can sit beside Midoriya. The gravity quirk user gave him a thumbs up. Todoroki just blushed and looks away from Uraraka. The others slightly noticed Midoriya's fidgeting and pink hue in his cheeks. They could only sigh at the two oblivious teens of their class. Enough of that, everyone, Ida calls their attention. We should respect Midoriya-kun's cooking and start savoring it. True, it's been a while since we had a good meal for breakfast. Shoji said and nods. Whatever guys, I'm already hungry and Bakugo is now eating his food. Jiro, who is beside Yaoyorozu, points at the ash-blonde teen. Bakugo was just munching his food when the others are looking at him. He quickly swallows his food and said, What are you shitty bastards looking at? I said my fucking grace and you're all damn slow. That's caken for you. Midoriya chuckles. Shut up and let me enjoy your goddamn cooking, shitty nerd. Whoa, Bakugo is being honest, Kirishima exclaims. The blonde immediately stood up and throws his spoon at Kirishima. But the red-haired teen dodges it. Shut the fuck up, punk-haired loser. I'll have you know that my goddamn cooking skills are a masterpiece compared to Deku's. The others could only chuckle at Bakugo's antics. They immediately say their grace and proceeded to eat their breakfasts. One taste of it, and they immediately felt like they're in blissful heaven. Satu immediately munched his eggs and bacon on a rice. Kaminari and Siro even took an extra rice just to savor the food they have. The rest of the class ate in silence, while also trying to converse with one another. These are good, Midoriya, Todoroki said as he munched his bacon. Thanks. Midoriya smiles. If you want, I could try to cook some food for you. He didn't finish his sentence since the green-haired teen knew Todoroki's predicament with his father. If it's okay with you. Todoroki replies. I can also try to help. It's been a while since I've done this. He wanted to blame his asshole of a father for the lack of fun and happy memories in his childhood days. Ever since Midoriya and he got along pretty well, the green-haired teen would always show him many great things that he didn't get to experience. Midoriya would always try to never bring the topic up. Todoroki appreciates all of it, even if the young teen could only consider him as one of his friends. After all, when Midoriya and he finally got along well, he's pretty close to the rest of his class. At least his once sad life would never happen again. As long as Midoriya shows his smile and charisma, Todoroki knew that they'll all be fine. That would be great, Midoriya exclaims. Maybe I could also teach you how to cook as well. Since it's only my mother and I, we usually help each other with the chores. Todoroki nods in understanding. You really are a well-rounded person. The rest of the class were able to listen to Todoroki and Midoriya's conversation. It seems that only Bakugo truly knew Deku-kun well, since they are basically childhood friends. Uraraka points at the blonde. So fucking what? Round face? Bakugo looks at Uraraka, but there was less bite to his tone. Oh, Bakugo, again with a denial. Uraraka chuckles. I wonder why our resident cinnamon roll is even close with this explosive asshole. Life's greatest mystery, huh? Jiru said as she drinks her hot chocolate. Yaoyorozu chuckles at Jiru's joke. It truly is Jiru-san. You shut up, earphone jackass, Bakugo exclaims. See? Jiru pointed at Bakugo's animalistic growl. Early in the morning and you're already noisy, Bakugo. Kaminari chuckles. Kirishima quickly held Bakugo's shoulder. Hey, calm down, bro. That dolt bolt Pikachu will fucking die someday. Bakugo grumbles in his breath. While the class continues with their conversation, Kirishima snaps his finger and said, Hey, Midoriya, we still don't know much about you. Heck, we still don't know much about the rest of the class. Yaoyorozu then said, Where are you going with this, Kirishima-san? I suggest a bonding time between us. The whole class 1A, Kirishima exclaims. Everyone seemed to nod and agree at the idea. Ida then said, "You're right. Since it's also a weekend, it's a good day for us to bond." "But where would we go? That's the question," Takoyami pointed out. "We could always go to the mall," 𝐻𝐴𝐽 exclaims. "It's too crowded." 𝐻𝐴𝐽, "I think not," Ojiro replies. "A cafe," Ishido suggested. "Too common, and we're kinda large in numbers." Kaminari shook his head. "How about I?" Before Mineta could finish his sentence, Bakugo took the liberty to throw his spoon at the midget. "Fucking no, perverted bastard," Bakugo growls. "Stop throwing things at me. Stop suggesting perverted things, fucking grapehead." Yaoyorozu face-palmed. This is getting out of hand. Then they saw dark shadow coming out from Takoyami. Everyone stopped and looked at the bird head's quirk, who is trying to gain their attention. "Kuda has been trying to get your attention for the past 5 minutes. Takoyami points at Kuda. Kuda nods and then points at Midoriya. "Midoriya," he whispers. Ida then snaps his fingers. "You're right, Kuda-kun. Let's make Midoriya decide on it." Everyone's eyes then gazed at the green-haired teen. Midoriya then points at himself and said, "Me? Who would it be, shit nerd? It ain't purple fucker. Here." Bakugo points at Mineta while glaring at the midget. I'm not sure if my decisions are good. You all can pick wherever you want to go. I'm okay with it." He sheepishly grins and waves his hand. "Nonsense, Midoriya-san," Yaoyorozu interjects. "You cooked us this delicious breakfast, so it's fair that you decide where we can all hang out." Midoriya fidgeted by his fingers. Todoroki then pats Midoriya's shoulder and said, "Anything's fine with us, Midoriya." Midoriya sighs and finally replies, "Well, I always wanted to go on a picnic." Everyone didn't seem to react from what Midoriya said just now. Forget about it. It's stupid and boring, IK. It's not that, Midoriya. Jiro decided to cut what Midoriya was about to say. "I just didn't thought that you would suggest that." Kirishima nods. "I thought for a second that you would suggest a heroes convention or something." Everyone chuckles from what Kirishima had said just now. Midoriya chuckles as well. Well, I haven't experienced that per se." Everyone gave him an incredulous look. "Really?" everyone exclaimed from their thoughts. "So you and Todoroki actually haven't experienced going on a picnic?" Ishido exclaims. "I have experienced it when I was young, but that's it," was Todoroki's simple reply. "Then we'll cut Todoroki off the list then, which leaves us to Midoriya." Kaminari points at the green-haired teen. "Literally, not even with your dad and mom." Oh, my mom is a single working parent. I never ask because she's always tired from work." Midoriya sighs. But I haven't seen my dad since the divorce, when I was maybe 6. Everyone could see Midoriya stiffen and flinch from the sudden mention of his father. Now that they noticed, everyone knew of his mother, Midoriya and co. But not once had he mentioned anything from his father. We should just pick another. My idea isn't that great. Yaoyorozu, help me with convincing Aizawa-sensei about that plan. Ida suddenly stood up and said it to the raven-haired girl. "No problem, Ida. We're all free on Monday since it's announced that there's no class due to a sudden meeting." Yaoyorozu nods. "Uraraka-chan and I will handle the refreshments." Asui raised her hand and replies. "Yeah, 𝐻𝐴𝐽 and I will handle the venue." Ishido pointed herself and toward the invisible teen. "Hey Bakugo," Kirishima calls the blonde. "If you said that your cooking is great, you should do it." "Why the fuck should I?" Kaminari then said. "Then don't, since we know that your cooking represents your personality. So it pretty much tastes like craw. I'll show you fucking Pikachu. I can even beat Gordon Ramsay with my fucking cooking," Kirishima chuckles. "Well, Bakugo will handle the cooking. I'll also join the cooking squad, Bakubro." "Don't call me that, fucktard. Expect that it will be like Hell's Kitchen when you join me." "Gladly." Kirishima grins. "Oh yeah, Midoriya, try and invite Aizawa-sensei, All Might, and your mom. They'll love it, I'm sure," Jiro said. Midoriya nods. "Sure, I'll be able to call both All Might and mom. But I'm not sure about Aizawa-sensei though. Yaoyorozu and Ida will handle that." Todoroki replies, "Let's just focus on convincing your mother." Midoriya nods. "Sure." Away from the prying ears of these two, Uraraka and the other girls started their own conversation. Good, Jiro acted as a distraction. Ishido grins as the other girls nod. "Finally, we can now try to make them together already. The mutual pining is already killing me." 𝐻𝐴𝐽 sighs as he face palms. "You're right, 𝐻𝐴𝐽-san. Maybe we only need to push them a bit so that they'll now admit their feelings. Yaoyorozu said with her fist pumped. You're excited, Yaomomo-chan, Kiro. Asui pointed out. Of course. It's not every day I get to help one of my friends realize their undying love for each other. It's like reading one of Shakespeare's sonnets all over again. The other girl's sweat dropped at Yaoyorozu's sudden enthusiasm. Hey, all right, why Momo, let's save that by Monday. Uraraka sheepishly chuckles. Let's handle the permission first. Leave that to me, my dear friends. Ida-kun and I will do the rest. / lucky for them. After Midoriya made the call toward Toshinori, the blonde pro-hero managed to even convince Aizawa about their event. When Yaoyorozu and Ida went toward their teacher, all Aizawa gave was a nod. But Toshinori managed to reach there on time and said that Midoriya asked him to convince their advisor. But of course, the two teachers seemed interested in going to with them on Monday. But they said that the two will catch up along with Inko after their teachers' meeting. Ida and Yaoyorozu returned to the dorms at exactly 3:30 p.m. with exciting news. The whole class waited at the common room for the news of their two class representatives. Yaoyorozu grins and Ida gave a thumbs up. They agreed. Yes. Everyone minus Bakugo and Todoroki exclaims in excitement. Todoroki smiled and pats Midoriya's shoulder. Looks like you'll be having your first picnic hangout with us. He blushed at the sudden slip-up. Yeah, I'm kinda excited as well. Midoriya grins. Todoroki sighs in relief that the green-haired teen didn't hear his sudden slip-up. Why, yeah. All right. Ida then calls their attention. Since Aizawa-sensei gave us a go signal, we can now prepare the things we need for Monday. I already made the list of recipes that we need. Yaoyorozu showed the list. We can make the food on Monday before we go to the park that Ashido and Hagakure will recommend. Ashido and Hagakure both squealed in delight as they showed the printout pictures to the class. Yaoyorozu then interjects once more. For plates and other equipment, I'll just make them. Don't worry about it. I already have permission from Aizawa-sensei. I'll think of it as my training. Todoroki then raises his hand. I already agree with me giving heat and ice to the food. Thank you, Todoroki-san, Yaoyorozu replies back. Since everyone know what their assigned position is, let's prepare some stuff tomorrow and plan some protocols, Ida said. Oh, come on, Prez, loosen up a bit. Kaminari chuckles. It's better to have them so we can be in an orderly fashion, Kaminari-kun. Ida replies back. That's Ida for you. Shoji slightly chuckles. Kirishima softly elbows Midoriya by his shoulder. Hey, dude, this is gonna be fun. You'll get to eat Bakuboy's food. Since you two are practically childhood friends, you had one, right? Midoriya shakes his head. I haven't actually, so it's my first time to taste it too. Kaminari grins as he headlocks Kirishima's neck. Good. Blasty here will cook for us. And you fucking assholes should be grateful. And shut up with the fucking nickname. Midoriya just chuckles. Yeah, I can't wait for Monday. / Monday has finally arrived in their calendars. They woke up very early to prepare the food for their picnics. Kirishima, Shiro, and Kaminari found every piece of entertainment needed for their bonding. Heck, they even bought marshmallows just in case they all planned an early campfire party. Todoroki and Midoriya were in charge of putting the food in containers and baskets. Bakugo, along with the two class representatives, decided to do the cooking. Kirishima gave up when he failed to do a single dish in front of the ash-blonde teen. Everyone gathered along with their materials for fun. There's music entertainment that came from Jiru, games that Kirishima, Shiro, and Kaminari found in their rooms. Asui and Uraraka carried the drinks as Todoroki, Midoriya, Ida, and Yaoyorozu carried the food. Shoji, Satu, and Takoyami carried foldable tables and chairs, though with Shoji's quirk of multiplying his body parts, he carries most of the load. Every one of them wore comfortable casual clothes. Since they knew that they'll do something physical as well, they all chose the right clothing. All right, everyone ready? Yaoyorozu asked as Ida counts every one of them. Yes, everyone cheered. Let's have fun, Todoroki-kun. Midoriya gave the dual-colored teen a bright smile. Todoroki blushed at the sight. Then he felt his left side going hot, which earned the attention of many. Holy shit, Todoroki, you're on fire again, Kaminari exclaims. Oh, he quickly swats away the fire on his left side as it slowly dissipates. Are you okay, Todoroki-kun? Midoriya asked. Why yes, just some sudden fire issues. Todoroki clears his throat. It was a weird discovery. Ever since Todoroki can now use his left side, he had a weird habit of setting himself on fire. Though majority discovered that it was because of Midoriya, or if the dual quirk user was embarrassed. They even speculated if it was from being over-emotional since they only knew Todoroki as a stoic person who rarely shows any emotions. But one time, Ashido teased the teen about Midoriya and suddenly, he and along his desk has caught on fire. Thankfully, Yaoyorozu was able to make a fire extinguisher on time and boy does Aizawa look so angry when he saw one charred desk. I'm ready for any unessential fire, everyone. Yaoyorozu assures the class. So anyone causing explosions, fires, electrical charge, or many more, Ida and I got it all covered. Everyone's eyes gazed at Bakugo. The ash-blonde teen glares at them and exclaims, "What are you all looking at, huh?" Jiru sighs. We all know that Bakugo may be one of the reasons to cause damage here. Please refrain a bit. Bakugo grits his teeth, but refrained from answering. He just merely mutters profanity under his breath. All right, let's enjoy this class bonding, Kirishima exclaims. Yes. Wait, how do we get there again? Kaminari suddenly asked. Thankfully, Nezu agreed that a private bus took them to the said park. The principal heard of their plans and decided to agree onto it since 2 pro heroes will be joining them soon. Though he gave them a message to call if there's any trouble. But the class merely shrugged and decided to thank the principal later. ////// Finally. Everyone exclaims as they finally arrived at their spot after their 30-minute drive. Turns out, the venue that both Hagakure and Ashido searched is truly magnificent. Also, it is part of Yuyui's property, so gaining access and permission was easy. The park that they chose is colored in luscious green, like it fits Midoriya's hair and eye color. Trees were visible and big as it surrounds them. Flowers could also be seen lying on the green patch of grass. The sky is also clear and free from any tree blockage. Whoa, we can even fly our kites here, Sato exclaims, earning a nod from the others. Well, this really is a good spot. Nice job, Hagakure-san and Ashido-san. Yaoyorozu compliments the two. No probs. Momo, Ashido and Hagakure high-fived each other. All right, let's set up our spot. Yaoyorozu, can you handle making our stuff? Ida looks at the other class rep. I can, but I have a problem with 𝐸𝐸. Then they felt a cold breeze passing through them. They looked on their right and saw Todoroki giving them a thumbs up. Done. Ida and Yaoyorozu saw the midget pervert frozen from neck to toe. Plus, a white blindfold covered 𝐸𝐸's eyes as he struggles from his ice chamber. What the hell, Todoroki? Let me go. 𝐸𝐸 exclaims as he tries to get out of the ice. Todoroki-kun, please refrain from freezing anyone, Ida scolds, but didn't told the dual-colored teen to let 𝐸𝐸 go from the ice. Yaoyorozu, however, just gave him a thumbs up. Thank you, Todoroki-san. As Yaoyorozu took a good spot to get some equipment out, the others decided to have some fun first. Tag, Kirishima suddenly pats Kaminari. Oh, it's on, Kirishima. Kaminari then proceeds to chase the red-haired teen. Kuda chose to it by the shade of the trees and used his quirk to call some animals for company. Hey, Yaoyorozu-san. Midoriya calls the raven-haired teen. I think I saw some fruits there. I'll pick some up for everyone. Sure, Yaoyorozu nods as she and Ida set up the table for their lunch. I'm going with you, Midoriya. Todoroki said as he ran towards the green-haired teen. You might need some help. I would love that, Todoroki. Midoriya nods. That would be great. Todoroki gave a small smile as the two of them walked towards the farther side of the park. Away from Todoroki's gaze, Midoriya slightly blushed when he saw the smile. Oh my god. I just saw him smile. He never smiles much. But oh my god. Neither of them uttered a word as they continued to walk. The silence was slowly killing them as these two wanted to say something. Thankfully, they found what they were looking for. Tea, that must be it, right? Todoroki said as he points at an apple tree. Whoa, there really is one. Let's get some. Let's already get some. They might be looking for us already. Todoroki then grabs his hand as they ran toward the tree. Midoriya was too stunned to notice that they were running. He merely let his legs go forward with a quickened pace as he admires the Todoroki's hair fluttering as they run. Wow, even from behind. Midoriya thoughts as they come to a stop. Midoriya? Todoroki snaps his fingers at him. Are you okay? Oh, Midoriya quickly cut his trance. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. He sheepishly chuckles. It's an apple tree. I'm sure that everyone will like it. Todoroki said as he points at the fruit. I'm sure they would. Midoriya said with a smile. Let's get some then. It took every inch of Todoroki's quirk to never light himself on fire again. He doesn't want another lecture on why he lit himself into a burning flamethrower. As much as he accepts his own left side, he still tends to got it out of tune when it comes to his emotions. Or it's because of his feelings for Midoriya. He admires the green-haired teen so much. His compassion, his true self, and maybe his lack of self-preservation, Todoroki loves them all. He knew that Midoriya might not have the thought about these kinds of stuff. Even Todoroki is new to all of this. But he doesn't want to damage the friendship that they both have. The thought of Midoriya straying away from him is something that he truly fears. To protect the one that gave him so much without any return, he'll protect their friendship. Even if his feelings remain unrequited. As long as he's beside Midoriya, it's all right for him. His thoughts were cut off when the green-haired teen seemed to look at the tree with a deep thought. The tree can be easily climbed. I guess that's the only way to get some. Midoriya mumbles. Wait, climb? Todoroki was able to hear Midoriya's mumble. Are you sure? You could just use your quirk, you know. Yeah. Midoriya sheepishly rubs the back of his neck. But it's been a long time since I tried to climb trees. I just want to try. The green-haired teen then looks at Todoroki. Have you tried to climb trees, Todoroki-kun? Had he experienced that when he was a kid? No. Thanks to my old man, I don't. Oh. Midoriya then looks away, sensing the sudden change of Todoroki's mood. Sorry if I brought a hard subject. I'll join you, then. Midoriya looks back at Todoroki. What? Todoroki sighs and pats the other teen's head. It's not your fault, Midoriya. Please don't blame yourself. Midoriya blushed at the contact. Are you sure? Of course, after all, someone needs to catch you when you fall, right? He gave the green-haired teen a soft smile. That's going to be me. Hey, Midoriya chuckles. Let's just get some. The two of them then climbed up the tree. They stepped on some rough edges and used the branches for support. Todoroki then got the hang of it in a few seconds, and he was able to chase Midoriya's pace. The green-haired teen noticed the bi-colored teen quickly catching up. He smiles, with a glint of challenge, and quickens his pace. Todoroki smirks at the sight. Without the other teen noticing, Todoroki then used his ice quirk for jumping support. With one careful leap, he managed to jump and grab the last branch above Midoriya. Hey, no fair, Midoriya chuckles as he also reaches the top. You didn't specify if we're allowed to use our quirks. Todoroki replies back. Midoriya pouts and looks away. Todoroki blushes at the sight, but quickly pats Midoriya by the shoulder. On the brighter side, it sure is high up here. Todoroki smiles as he lets the breeze feel his skin. So this is what it feels like. The two of them sat on the branch as the wind flows by them. They could slightly see their picnic site as they saw kites flying. I guess they're now flying kites, huh? Todoroki points the sight. We can try it out later. Midoriya smiles. The silence in here is pretty relaxing. Todoroki nods in agreement as he closes his eyes. The sound of the trees fluttering in the breeze. The chirp of the birds. His mind became blank as he slowly relaxes along with Midoriya. Then he felt something near his pinky. He opens his eyes and saw his hand near Midoriya's. His eyes widens. As he took a good look at the green-haired teen, he could see the freckles in Midoriya's cheeks, like it was a constellation in the heavenly skies. Plus his bright and sparkling green eyes that gleamed onto the sunlight. Todoroki could see how beautiful Midoriya is. He smiles and raised his right palm. Midoriya then turned and saw Todoroki's palms emanating a cold breeze. Todoroki-kun, before Todoroki could reply, a beautiful snowflake formed on his hand as it twirls around his palms. Mom would always make these for me when I feel sad. Sometimes it's snowflakes or any other things that make me happy. Midoriya gave him a sad look. But, you already spoke with her, right? Todoroki nods. I almost forgot my mother's true and beautiful look. Even right now, she looked at me with deep guilt and regret, especially in my left side. Don't say that, Todoroki-kun. I'm sure that your mother really loves you. He then looks at Midoriya with a sad smile. After what you said, I made an effort for Mom to forgive herself as well. I already forgave her. She spent all those years never seeing my siblings and I, so when I showed her this, it made her happy. It also made her happy if I were to choose how I go with my life. He then lets go of the snowflake as it flutters in the breeze. We both have horrible dads, I guess, Midoriya chuckles. Oh yeah, your parents are divorced, huh? Todoroki looks at Midoriya. Why yeah, I just know that something happened between them. My mom would always cry when I tried to ask about him. Midoriya said, his voice hushed into a whisper. Todoroki didn't pry anymore and merely puts his hand on Midoriya's hair. Your mom really did everything she could. But have you even met my old man? He's shitty as hell. Midoriya suddenly laughs at Todoroki's profanity. Yeah, Endeavor's pretty much an asshole. Todoroki quickly covered Midoriya's mouth. Who are you, and what have you done with nice Midoriya? He chuckles. Midoriya softly laughs as he removes Todoroki's hand. It's true. Then maybe your father's a jerk as well? Yeah. Both of them softly let out a laugh. Todoroki then stood at the branch and started to grab some apples. Let's go before 𝗵𝘃𝐸 explodes. Midoriya chuckles again and stands up to grab some apples as well. Yeah, Kakin will get mad alright. // There you fucktards are, 𝗵𝘃𝐸 exclaims as he saw both Todoroki and Midoriya return with apples on their arms. The dual quirk user had to even make a temporary ice basket to put some of the apples that they couldn't carry. The others seemed to start eating, while some people decided to wait for the two to return. Mainly 𝗵𝘃𝐸, Kirishima, Yaoyorozu, and Ida. They're already back. Calm down, 𝗵𝘃𝐸-san. Yaoyorozu sighs, though a smirk is visible in her face. Sheesh, if I knew that you two are going at a date, we should just pick some beautiful park with a lake instead. Ashido chuckles. Both teens blushed at Ashido's teasing statement. Yaoyorozu even had a fire extinguisher in her hand, just in case their resident Ikemen decided to light himself on fire once more. Ashido-san, Midoriya suddenly exclaims as his cheeks turned red from embarrassment. Yeah, we got it. Boy then friend. Hagakure laughs. Midoriya and Todoroki quickly sets the apple down in the basket the Yaoyorozu made. The two of them sat in front of 𝗵𝘃𝐸 and Kirishima. Glad you already came. 𝗵𝘃𝐸 kept on cussing when you haven't returned. Kirishima chuckles. Hell I did, halfy bastard, 𝗵𝘃𝐸 exclaims. You're fucking busy with your dramas that you forgot that I'm doing the goddamn cooking. Todoroki sighs as he took some portion of the food from the bowls. He took a bite and said, It tastes good, 𝗵𝘃𝐸. Fucking is, Pyrofrost, 𝗵𝘃𝐸 exclaims. You may not even notice that I put laxatives in the goddamn food. Midoriya chuckles as he munched on the food. Yeah, it tastes good, Kakin. And you wouldn't be able to put laxative, 𝗵𝘃𝐸. Uraraka pointed out. Remember that Ida-kun and I were the taste testers. 𝗵𝘃𝐸 grits his teeth as he glares onto the spoon. You think I'm dumb? Shut the fuck up, Yaho. Uraraka chuckles as she took another bite of her food. Even if we're the only ones here in this park, we are still noisy like we're in our dorms. Tokoyami sighs as he drinks from his cup. At least, this is the only noise that we'll worry about in public. Shoji sighs. Though I have to admit as well, 𝗵𝘃𝐸 can really cook. What I can wait is to taste Satu's dessert. Ashido grins as he looked at Satu. Ida said that we'll get it out when we finish eating our lunch. Asui then said. But still, this is nice, Kiro. Everyone looks at the frog girl. It's nice to have some outdoor activity in our class. Yeah, Kirishima nods. Since the clearing is wide enough, we can do something fun with our quirks. Are you even sure that's allowed? Yaoyorozu points it out. Technically, we are still in Yuyui property as well. Ida said towards Kirishima. Let's just say that it's training. Shesh, try to not be uptight. Kaminari chuckles. Hey, Midoriya, want to join? Kirishima calls the green-haired teen. We might play a dodgeball game, but with a small ball. We plan on trying to use our quirks. I'm not sure if I'm good at that game. Midoriya said. I haven't played that. Oh come on, 𝗵𝘃𝐸 would join, but there would be no challenge for Blasty here. Kaminari points at the ash-blonde teen. I'll fucking kick your ass in that dodgeball game, dolt bolt. 𝗵𝘃𝐸 growls as he stands up from his chair. What if I join the fray? Todoroki suddenly stands up. I know how to play dodgeball, but I haven't tried it with a quirk. Midoriya could see the glint in Todoroki's eyes. Todoroki-kun, don't freeze the ball, he exclaims as he saw the ball for the game already frozen in his hand. Huh. Are you up for a fucking fight, Isahot? 𝗵𝘃𝐸 glares as his palm sparks. Oh, I would love to. Even if Todoroki was raised by his one bastard of a father, he would never back down from any challenge. Now that he has finally got close to them, it wouldn't hurt for the dual-colored team to try and have some fun. Whoa, Todoroki is joining the fray, Kaminari grins. Come on, Midoriya. You can even team up with Todoroki if you join. Midoriya blushed. Like I said, I can teach Midoriya the basics. Todoroki interjects as he looks at Midoriya. It will be fun and I'll team up with you. Oh god, I can't say no. Midoriya thoughts as he sighs, fine. Yaoyorozu and Ida could only sigh. She then said, I already receive a text from Aizawa-sensei. They'll be here in a moment, and they said yes to the game. Yes. Then Yaoyorozu and I will officiate the game. Ida said. But first, let's eat our meal and get some rest. After some cleanup, let's start the game. ///brrttt. The sound of a loud whistle echoed through their direction. Yaoyorozu held the whistle as Ida stood beside her. By the stands, Tokoyami, Shoji, Kuda, and Aoyama, Jiro, and Mineta decided to just watch. Though they warned the midget to not make any stupid ideas, or else. Alright, 2 small balls will be thrown in a random direction. Yaoyorozu said as she showed the balls that came from her quirk. Catch the ball and hit your enemies. Since you're all in partners, make sure they don't get hit, or the 2 of them are out. We can use our damn quirks, right Ponytail? Bakugo asks in a loud voice. Yes, Bakugo-san, but no overkills. Fuck. Ida then grabbed 2 small balls. With one strong throw, the balls flew up. Bakugo took the chance to propel himself up and catches the first ball. Die. The ball was thrown like a comet, and its target is Todoroki's team. But the dual-colored teen slightly smirked as he raised his flaming left hand. Bakugo grits his teeth when the dual quirk user catches it with ease. Todoroki then throws it by his back, only to find Midoriya jumping above his head. The green-haired teen grabs the ball and throws it at the unsuspecting team. It hit the first victim, Kaminari, by the gut. Sorry, Kaminari-kun. Damn, Kaminari, Ishido exclaims. After Kaminari and Ishido moves to the sidelines, the game continues. Bakugo then felt something going towards him. He immediately blasted the object, which revealed a charred ball. Kirishima then saw Asui along with Uraraka. So you threw the ball, nice try. He then grabs the ball and throws it forward. Bakugo. I fucking know, punktard. He then blats the ball which made it go faster towards Uraraka and Asui. The 2 of them quickly jumped away from the ball as it landed on the ground. Asui grabbed it with her tongue and slingshot it to another unfortunate victim. Hagakure was the one, and her partner was Zero. Aw man. Bakugo, we said no overkills, Ida exclaims. I didn't even hit the invisible girl. 4 eyes. Bakugo growls as Kirishima held his shoulder. Dude, calm down, the game is about to start. I am fucking calm. Todoroki sighs as Ida threw the ball towards him. He catches the ball and said towards Midoriya. Let's just finish this. Midoriya chuckles. Todoroki-kun, the ball's on fire. Perfect. Let's hit Bakugo first. Bakugo, unfortunately, heard it. Wanna fucking go, strawberry shortcake. You're the one who's smaller than me, Bakugo. Todoroki joked. Bakugo then grins, an irritated grin. It is so fucking on. Midoriya and Kirishima could only sigh. As the blonde continued to cuss, Midoriya noticed a lone figure standing behind the trees. Hey, Midoriya called the figure. What are you doing here? Bakugo stopped from cussing when the green-haired teen called someone. They all saw the figure slowly coming out from behind the trees. It was a woman in her mid-20s with black hair and red eyes. She wore an oversized black coat with the hood on her face. Ida then said, Excuse me, ma'am, but are you lost? The woman didn't answer. This is Yuyui property, ma'am. We're sorry, but you have to go. Yaoyorozu said. The woman merely looks at them with a bored expression. This bitch is slow or something. The class representatives facepalmed at Bakugo's statement. Kakin! Midoriya exclaims as he voluntarily goes to the woman. Hey, miss, you might be lost. Don't worry, I'll escort you out. Before Midoriya could even urge the woman to follow, she finally said, You said, Yuyui, right? The whole class slightly nods, unsure where this conversation is going. So, you're class 1A? Midoriya then interjects. WER. Let's just get you out of here, ma'am. But before Midoriya could touch her hand, the woman opened her coat, and it showed the hilt of a sword. His eyes widens as the woman grins. Perfect. The woman quickly kicks Midoriya by his head. The impact was strong that it knocked the teen on the ground. Midoriya / Deku-kun. Everyone exclaims in shock. The woman grins as she steps on Midoriya's back. The green-haired teen grits in pain at the heels of her boots. So this is the famous class, huh? I've heard about all of you. She purred. The future heroes. She then kneels down and grabs Midoriya by his hair, pulling him up. You're all pathetic. Todoroki has had enough. Quickly, he spreads his ice toward the woman, but she was able to dodge quickly. She then grabs her katana and slices the ice into pieces. Their eyes were wide. A mere sword was able to slice Todoroki's ice into pieces. Her katana held a dark and menacing aura and her hood blown away. Ah, Todoroki Shoto, Endeavor's son, she mocked and giggled. Ah, does a spoiled brat like you got mad when I hurt this cutie patity? Og. She pulled his hair harder. Todoroki's eyes narrows. Let him go. Nope, Tilda, she replied back. I have some business with all of you. Starting with this fucker right here. Before the woman could even try to hurt Midoriya again, a spear was headed toward her. Quickly she let go of his hair and jumps away from the spear. A net then almost captured her if it weren't for her quick reflexes that sliced it. Yaoyorozu grits her teeth. I almost had her. Before the other could even try to help Yaoyorozu, Takoyami, Ida, and Hagakure suddenly collapsed as they were unable to move. What happened? Takoyami exclaims. We can't move. Ida grits his teeth as he tries to move his legs. Shido, watch out, Hagakure exclaims. Jiru then tried to release a sonic blast, but since it was only in one direction, the woman was able to quickly dodge. She then took a knife from her coat and threw it by Jiru's legs. Og. Jiru writhes in pain as the knife buried deep within her leg. Jiru, Ashido ran to her, only to find out that the woman paralyzed her already. She could only look in despair as Jiru collapses as well. Yaoyorozu grits her teeth as she prepares to release a net. I already texted Aizawa-sensei and the others, but I don't know how much we can take it. She suddenly laughs loudly. It echoed throughout the field, which made the students pause. But what made their bodies shiver was the aura emanating from her very own body. It was dark, and it's like there were terrified screams coming out from it. Fear. I may not see it, but I can sense it, she said with a smile. You all have delicious fears, but I wonder what they are. Her teeth showed form, revealing sharp canines like it was from vampires. This is my quirk, kiddos. But you have to figure it all out. Don't let her catch you guys, Midoriya exclaims. I'm not sure, but I think her quirk is by some part of her body. The woman chuckles as she looks back at Midoriya. Clever boy, since you kind of figured it out, I shall start with you. Not on our watch, both Kirishima and Todoroki shouted as they ran toward her with their quirks on. The woman was about to attack Midoriya again, but a long tongue was able to wrap around the green-haired teen and pulled him away. The villain grits her teeth and quickly dodges when both Todoroki and Kirishima let out a punch toward her. I got him, Asui exclaims as she brought Midoriya by her side. Are you all right, Midoriya-chan? Midoriya nods. Yeah, thanks, Tsuyu-chan. Todoroki continues to let out some long-ranged attacks. When he uses his ice and the woman dodges, he then fires his flames toward her. But the woman was quick. She was able to dodge the flames heading towards her. What the woman didn't anticipate was the punch from behind. Kirishima took the opportunity to punch her from behind. Stupid, she said with a grin, and Kirishima realized it all too late. The woman merely tapped his body in random places. But as she finished it, Kirishima collapsed and became paralyzed. Kirishima, everyone exclaims when they found the red-haired teen paralyzed. Did she just press his pressure points? Yaoyorozu exclaims. But before she could even comprehend the events, the villain is already behind her. What's your fear? Yaoyorozu gasped, only to feel the quick press of her pressure points. Before she could even run, she became paralyzed. Bakugo grits his teeth and propels himself toward her. Bitch! He then fires an explosion in her face. Ha 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 ha, her laugh echoed once more. Bakugo's eyes widens. His explosion took hit on her cloak that is covered with black aura. The Bakugo Katsuki. The woman had a large smile and her eyes glowing red. Her fangs were visible as she said, What is your fear? Bakugo grits his teeth as he prepares to fire another. I have nothing to fear, bitch. But before the blonde could even attack, her sword gleamed onto the sun. The blade was only a few inches away from his neck. Her fangs turned sharp as she quickly comes closer to him. Fuck. Kaken. The woman was then pushed away by a blunt force. Midoriya was able to arrive on time and punched the woman by her side. The force of the impact was able to blow her away towards the trees. Are you all right? Midoriya looks at the blonde. Do you think I'm all right? Todoroki quickly ran towards them and said, This is no time to be angry, Bakugo. The dual-colored teen quickly released his ice to capture the villain, but she merely shatters it with her sword. Todoroki grits his teeth as he continues to use both his ice and fire for distraction. Those who are not paralyzed, find help and get the others out of here. Todoroki exclaims, I don't know how much I can keep up with firing both. What Todoroki failed to realize that she used the formed ice as her jumping stool. The woman grins as she heads towards Todoroki. I got you. Oh no you don't. Midoriya activates his full cowl and immediately jumps. When he's finally beside her, he kicks her again by the side, only to be blocked by her blade. Go, Midoriya exclaims as he helps Todoroki with being a distraction. Uraraka nods and quickly activates her quirk at the paralyzed ones. She quickly ran along with the paralyzed victims. Sato, Shoji, and Aoyama quickly ran to find their teachers. Zero carried Kirishima by his back as Kaminari tried to contact their teacher as well. Bakugo grits his teeth as he saw Todoroki and Midoriya fighting the woman in front of them. After she dodges one of Midoriya's attacks, Todoroki would either use his ice or fire for attack. Bakugo, let's get out of here, Minato exclaims. But Bakugo didn't pay any attention to the others. He grits his teeth and propels himself forward. Get out of the way. Just when Todoroki decided to do close combat with fire formed in his hand, the woman took the chance of escape. When she was cornered, she used Bakugo's face as a stepping stool and got out. But the two teens collided with each other. Both fire and explosion collided. It then pushed both of them away. Just when the smoke has been about to clear, Midoriya took the chance to quickly attack the woman. She wasn't able to realize that she had an opening. The green-haired teen then kicks the sword in her hand and released a punch, only for her to block. Midoriya quickly jumps away and exclaims toward Todoroki. Now. Todoroki nods, and with one step, large chunks of ice spreads forward, aiming toward the woman. Without a weapon on her hand, she was overwhelmed by the impact and quickly, she was knocked over, until her back hit the tree. Todoroki and Midoriya were hostile and ready as they slowly walked toward the woman. When they saw that she is definitely unconscious, both of them sigh in relief. Midoriya sat by the grass and said, Finally, she's unconscious. Todoroki nods as he rubs some dirt off his clothes. I'm sure that the pro heroes would arrive anytime. At least our classmates are out. Yeah, Midoriya smiles. You okay, Todoroki-kun? You got hit by 𝐀𝐦, right? I'm fine, Midoriya. Thanks for asking. He smiles. I should be asking you that. I mean, you were here first, victim. Nah, I'm good. Midoriya grins. Then, they notice Bakugo groaning near them. Fuck, it's like I've been hit by a sack of bricks. You kinda did, 𝐀𝐦. Midoriya replies. Fuck you, Deku, Bakugo growls. And fuck you, half-bastard. You beat the living crap out of this bitch without me. Todoroki pinched the bridge of his nose. Please don't shout, Bakugo. You'll give us a headache. Please don't fight right now, 𝐀𝐦, Todoroki-kun. Midoriya sighs. For now, let's just apprehend the villain before she wakes up. Heh, heh. They suddenly flinched when the woman finally laughed once more. Even if it was a soft one, it was able to stiffen their body. Amazing. To think that these brats were able to knock me out for a bit. She smirks and raises her blood-red eyes towards them. You three, you must be Class 1A's powerful students. So fucking what, huh? I'll kick your ass even if you're a woman, Bakugo said as his palms let out a small spark. It means that you all got distracted. Shit! Todoroki quickly activates his ice, only for the woman to dodge from it. He was about to use his fire, but his eyes widen. Midoriya also saw it. The woman is only a few meters away from Bakugo. With adrenaline running through their veins, they ran towards Bakugo. Bakugo felt the woman grabbing his neck. He tried to struggle, but her grip tightens when he does so. 𝐀𝐦. Bakugo. The woman laughs at their demise as her fangs slowly draw closer to Bakugo's neck. I am Akira, Bakugo Katsuki. And you'll be my first victim. Shit! Bakugo exclaims in his thoughts as the fangs slowly went to his neck. 𝐀𝐦. // Aizawa Sensei. All Might. The rest of the class felt relieved to see their teacher finally arrive. Inko was also with them with a worried look written all over her face. What happened? Aizawa asked as he checks on the students. How did some of you got paralyzed? Villain, Mineta shrieked. What? Inko, Toshinori, and Aizawa exclaimed in unison. She pressed our pressure points. Yaoyorozu replied. Then we got paralyzed. We don't know how to fix this. Recovery girl will handle that. She knows how to handle pressure points. Aizawa grits his teeth as he noticed 3 students missing. Bakugo, Todoroki, and Midoriya. Where are they? Aizawa asked, his voice raising. They fought the villain. They act as a distraction, Uraraka exclaims. You've got to help them, sensei. Fuck. Aizawa swears. All Might, guard the students. What? But Aizawa, can you handle? Toshinori was interrupted when Aizawa already ran. I can disable the villain's quirk. It's better you protect them just in case. Aizawa ran toward the location that they sent. He's running and leaping with everything he can just to reach them on time. With what Yaoyorozu told her through the text, the villain is armed with a sword, but she can paralyze her victims. The woman's quirk is still unknown, which made Aizawa narrow his eyes in worry. They were facing an unknown villain, which made it scarier. Aizawa could see that the woman was planning something. Aizawa quickly arrives on time, only to see the woman slowly baring her fangs at Bakugo's neck. The man grits his teeth as he prepares his scarf for capture. But the woman smirks and tightens her grip on Bakugo's neck. Try me. Aizawa grits his teeth as he tries to disable her quirk. But even with his hair already raising, the woman still had her condescending smirk. With that, she whispers once more. What's your fear, Bakugo Katsuki? Kaken. Aizawa then saw a green blur grabbing the woman off from the blonde's neck. It succeeded, but Midoriya was dragged all along with her. Midoriya, Todoroki exclaims as he ran towards him. Aizawa quickly ran along with Todoroki as they saw Midoriya struggling from Akira's grasp. He was fighting as the woman tries to pin both his arms and legs. Midoriya, quickly, Todoroki steps on the ground with his right as ice quickly spreads. He was hoping that the villain will dodge, which will make the capture easier. But it was the complete opposite. Akira dragged Midoriya as they both dodged. Todoroki wanted to already blast the villain with his flames, but he was frozen in fear. Akira had Midoriya in a headlock, a knife present near his neck. She pants and breathes heavily, but her smirk is still evident on her face. Try something stupid. I'll guarantee his life will go bye-bye. Midoriya winced when he felt the cool, sharp blade near his neck. Just a few more force, and it will already draw blood. What do you want? Aizawa exclaims. As much as he was panicking from the inside, he has to remain calm. His student is being held hostage, and he'll be damned if he won't be able to save Midoriya. What I want can't be solved through money or any bribery, Eraserhead. She growls as her blood-red eyes started to glow. I've lost everything from you so-called heroes. You're nothing more than just fame-loving shits. Akira tightens her grip on Midoriya's neck. Todoroki wanted to desperately get Midoriya out of her grasp, but he knew that one wrong step, and it will all be futile. I've lost my sister during a villain attack 7 years ago. Then my brother was caught by the 𝐬𝐡𝐤 incident. She grits her teeth. I've lost everything from you, fake heroes. Todoroki grits his teeth. In the 𝐬𝐡𝐤 incident. Then your brother joined willingly. He was a villain, and he planned to also join the slaughter. I don't care. I lost everything, and it's all because of you, heroes. I believe in Stain's words. And he was right. She smiles at them, but it was malicious and deceiving. It's time to pay the price. I've sensed your friend's fear. Midoriya gasped when he felt the woman's tongue in his neck. Let me go. He continues to struggle. But Akira pushed the knife near his neck, and it has now drawn blood, his fear. So hidden, so dark, so strong. She then whispers in his ears. It's also about that handsome teen, huh? Endeavor's son. Leave Todoroki-kun out of this. Midoriya grits his teeth. I could sense their fear, since I have you in my grasp. But yours is just so delectable. She licks her lips. Get away from me. Midoriya tried to push her away, only for Akira to slam his head down the ground. I've had enough. Todoroki quickly ran as his sides both frosted and burned. Aizawa followed as he prepares the captured gear. Fear. She grins, and in one swift motion, Akira bit Midoriya by his neck. Her sharp teeth punctured his skin, and it drawn blood. Midoriya screams and writhes in pain as he forces her away from him. He could feel his veins pulsating. his mind telling him to get the woman off his body. But Akira held Midoriya tightly as he felt something coming inside his bloodstream. All of a sudden, Midoriya screamed in mix of agony, terror, and pain. ///. Todoroki wanted to save Midoriya already, but he knew the consequences if he were to act rashly. But the way Akira held the green-haired teen, he became infuriated. She wanted revenge, but she was also mocking them. What made Todoroki grit his teeth was that Midoriya is the victim. Someone as motivating and as bright as him. He didn't want that. Out of pure instinct and anger, he immediately ran towards Midoriya. He thought that maybe he can use his quirk for close combat. His thoughts ran wildly, and they screamed for him to make it on time. Midoriya is being threatened, held as a hostage. Bakugo isn't even making a move to rescue his childhood friend. He saw the blonde frozen from shock. If they were childhood friends, why didn't Bakugo move? Todoroki wanted to ask that. It was only him and Aizawa who made it at a nick of time. But the dual quirk user knew it in their minds. Akira's quirk is still unknown to them. Then he saw Midoriya fight. He struggles to get out. He admires the other teen's bravery. But Todoroki knew that Midoriya lacks in self-preservation. Then had this weird feeling in his gut. Something is about to happen. It involves Midoriya. It involves Midoriya. He ran, along with Aizawa. They tried to reach for him on time. Todoroki was prepared to use his fire, but the villain quickly places her head near Midoriya's face. His eyes widens and his brows furrowed. Her tongue slithered in Midoriya's neck. It was pure anger that someone as tainted as her would dare to defy someone as pure as Midoriya Izuku. Todoroki had enough of it. He needed to strike. He was desperate to save him, just like how Midoriya saved him from the chains of his past. But his resolve slowly dissipates from an agonizing scream. Todoroki knew that voice. He knew it with all his heart. But the scream was different. There was no determination, no cry of frustration. It was pure agonizing pain. Todoroki's gray and blue eyes all widened from shock and disbelief. He wanted to think that it was just some illusion. Akira pinned Midoriya's arms by his head as her fangs punctured his neck. Blood continued to flow out of the wound. But Todoroki saw Midoriya's eyes. Fear. Fear. There was fear. His eyes suddenly dulled. Midoriya, Todoroki cries as he shot out his fire. He didn't need to think twice because he knew his flames would hit her. And it did. The woman removed her fangs from his skin and quickly jumps away. Aizawa then tries to capture Akira, only to dodge again. She stood at the top of the tree branch and licks the blood from her lips. She smiled in delight as her eyes opened wide as plates. His fear is delicious. I've seen it. I never thought. She laughs at the faces Bakugo is showing towards her. Aw, don't look at me like that. I've seen your friend's fear and memories. I have to say. You are an asshole. Some fucking hero you are. She then looks at Todoroki, who is with Midoriya. Akira saw that the dual quirk user was covering the wound she made for the green-haired teen, his doubts, his anxieties. Oh my god, it's heavenly 𝗀𝗐. Then she finally looks at Aizawa. What kind of heroes are you? He's like me. He's like every god of victims in this fucking society. She then grins like a madman as she imagines the scene about to unfold. I hope you'll enjoy his days with him. Aizawa has had enough. He then runs forward, only for the woman to release smoke bombs. Fuck. He cussed when Aizawa jumped to the branch, only to find the villain missing from her original position. Back to Todoroki. The dual-colored teen covered up the wound on Midoriya's neck. He didn't want to use both his quirks for covering the wound. As much as it pains him to hold a bloodied Midoriya, he had to do something to lessen the flow. Aizawa-sensei, Bakugo. Todoroki grits his teeth as he felt the blood on his hands. 𝐴𝐻𝐻, help me. Midoriya is bleeding. He saw their teacher quickly running towards them. But he turned and saw Bakugo still frozen from the events. Bakugo, Todoroki exclaims. You're not paralyzed, right? Help me. Midoriya is bleeding. Bakugo was still frozen as his eyes were wide like plates. He didn't move from his spot. Todoroki grits his teeth as it took every inch of his pride to ask for help at Midoriya's childhood friend. Bakugo, Todoroki calls the blonde once more. Fuck, he's fucking bleeding. 𝐴𝐻𝐻, snap out of it. Todoroki, Aizawa calls the dual-colored teen as he kneels beside them. I don't have my first aid kit. Midoriya is bleeding, and I can only use my hands. Cut some cloth from your shirt. Aizawa orders. Worry about disinfecting it later. Slow the blood flow first. Todoroki didn't waste any moment. He quickly tore a large piece of the sleeves of his shirt and covered up the wound. I got it. Aizawa grits his teeth as he noticed that Midoriya needed medical attention more than anything. I authorize you to use your quirk. He needs medical attention right now. I'll take the others back to Yuyui since they're only paralyzed by pressure points. Get him to a hospital. I'll follow you shortly. Todoroki nods as he carries Midoriya in bridal style. Quickly, he made an ice pillar up and jumps. His feet quickly freezes the humid as he surfs onto it. Right now, Aizawa is counting on him to get medical attention for Midoriya. He still remembers how the woman bit his flesh like it was a piece of meat. It punctured his skin, but she didn't pull out the flesh. Still, they all wanted to be sure. Because an unknown quirk can be fatal and dangerous at the same time, if not treated quickly. Bakugo didn't know what to do at first. The villain caught him by the neck, and he knew that chances of escape are turning to zero. Out of stupidity, he suddenly lowered his guard and Akira caught him. He couldn't move when the villain was about to bite the flesh of his neck. Bakugo knew that he could blast her away, but he was frozen from shock. Frozen. Since when did he ever experience that? Every time he's in danger or in a fight, he never once froze on the spot. He would always fight to claim the top. Being unable to move is something that Bakugo couldn't fathom, ever. But then here he was, in the villain's grasp. He tried to move, but his body couldn't do so. He didn't think he would stoop so low to just be frozen in fear, or because he knew that there was no escape to his fate. Whatever her quirk was, Bakugo would make sure he would be able to see it. When he knew that she will bite him, he realized that it had something to do with her fangs. But he didn't expect the next outcome. Oh, how things turned out to be. The only person who he truly fears, despises, and many more emotions that flood onto him. It was because of that single person, Deku. He suddenly pushed Akira out of Bakugo. Due to the sudden turn of events, her grasp became loose, and the blonde was able to escape. But Deku was dragged by the woman at the other corner, as the two of them fought for dominance. Bakugo tried to move, to scream, to just do something. He felt so infuriated that Deku had to save his sorry ass again. He never wanted others to save him, especially towards the green-haired teen. The blonde may be able to read and understand Deku, but at the same time, he is clearly unpredictable as well. Now there he saw Deku being held hostage by Akira. The knife in her hand gleamed on his neck. She threatens that he'll die at her hands. How Bakugo hated the situation he was right now. He hated how, shitty nerd, Deku saved him again. He hated how he can't move when Todoroki and Aizawa tried to save the nerd. It happened again. He's present at the scene. But he became utterly useless. He knew himself, but still chose not to accept it yet. He is not heartless, but he just watched Deku struggle at the captor's hold. How he wanted to say that it's his fault for getting in the way. But he also wanted to say to himself that he's becoming a sorry excuse of a hero. He wanted to move, but he couldn't. Then all of a sudden he truly became frozen. The bite that was for him, it became Deku's instead. Then he heard that terrifying scream which was filled with pure pain and agony. It was just a bite. But Bakugo knew that it was something more than that. What made him freeze even more was that those green eyes. Those eyes, dulled. But it reflected something that Bakugo hasn't seen for a while. Fear. Deku was directly looking at him with fearful lidded eyes. It wasn't the same look of fear that he showed when they were kids. It was something that even Bakugo couldn't stomach if he were to find out. For the first time in his life, he is scared for Deku. Akira truly savored the bite as she continues to puncture his neck. Bakugo saw the smile on her face. He could even speculate that she was humming while she continues to puncture Deku's neck. Bakugo wanted to move, but he couldn't. After returning the body movements of some Class 1 students, they immediately head towards the hospital, along with Inko, Toshinori, and Aizawa. When their advisor told everything, they didn't even have the need of rest. Everyone became worried at the events and immediately went to the hospital that Todoroki texted them. They all arrived on the location Todoroki said, and they saw him completely frozen. He sat at the waiting area, his sleeves torn, and some blood splattered on his shirt. Everyone in class could see that Todoroki was slightly shivering. They can only conclude that he may have overused a bit of his ice quirk. Inko quickly ran toward the dual-colored teen and said, "Todoroki-kun." He raises his head and looks at her with worry and fear. Midoriya-san, thank you for bringing my son to the hospital on time, she said as she hugs the teen. Todoroki stiffens at the contact, but quickly returns the hug. I still got your son hurt. All of this is not your fault. Todoroki heard 𝐀𝐦 sobbing. He's okay, right? Yes. They are doing everything they can to check on the wound. It was a deep puncture, but luckily, she didn't hit any vein. Todoroki replied as he grits his teeth. I don't know how to explain it. Everything was just 𝐬𝐬, a shirt for Todoroki. Aizawa said as the creation quirk user nods. After a few moments, she now gave the black shirt to their teacher. Here. Aizawa handed the shirt to Todoroki. Warm yourself first, then change. It won't do any good if you wait for Midoriya, and he'll saw you looking like that. Sure. We'll ask you for details later. Right now, try to get yourself fixed first. Okay, young Todoroki, Toshinori said. Todoroki nodded at the now skinny man. Oh, okay. The dual-colored teen quickly heads to the nearest restroom. As he enters, he quickly went to the mirror and sets the shirt down. He looks at the reflection and saw it. His bloodied shirt, and it was Midoriya's blood. He clicks his tongue and quickly removes the bloody shirt and tosses it somewhere. Before truly changing, he made himself burn a bit to remove some frozen bits. But as he puts on a new shirt, his mind still wanders at what Akira did to Midoriya. It just doesn't make any sense. Todoroki thoughts as he picks up his discarded shirt. Why did she bit Midoriya? Is it her quirk? If it was, how does it work? His mind wandered at many possibilities. But he would always pause when he would look again at the blood. Then he remembered Midoriya's horrifying scream. The look that he gave. It sends a chill to his spine. He doesn't want to think about it anymore. Midoriya is now safe. Whoever she is, I'm sure that the pros will find her. Then she said something about fear and how she sensed it on all of us. Todoroki rubs his forehead as more questions run on his mind. Is that what made her strong? The fear that we had on our hearts, even those which are hidden. Midoriya can make up with a good hypothesis. Todoroki sighs. Now, I miss his mumblings. / Todoroki-kun, Ida calls on the dual-colored teen, who is now walking back towards them. Ida, is something wrong? How's Midoriya? Is he okay? Todoroki continues to ask numerous questions. Calm the fuck up, Isahat. Bakugo mumbles. The nerd's fine. They treated the wound, and the only thing he has is a concussion. Akira must have hit Deku-kun hard. Uraraka told the dual quirk user. Akira? Todoroki arched an eyebrow. Bakugo heard her name, so that's what we can call her. Jiru pointed out. At least that's a good start for her identity. Takoyami sighs. We're also sorry that we couldn't help you three, Todoroki. Yaoyorozu nods. I even saw that she is pressing our pressure points, but did nothing to stop it. Even as class president, I didn't fulfill my part. Ida grits his teeth. Ever since his brother was admitted in the hospital, he became afraid that his closest friends would also end up in that place. Now, Midoriya is here. Todoroki sighs. It's all not your fault. We're just glad that you all escaped while we distracted her. Midoriya would have wanted that. All of them smiled. Their moods lightened up a bit. Yeah, Midori would still tell us that even if we apologize straight to his face. Ashido chuckles. Don't talk like Deku's gonna fucking die, bastards. Bakugo mumbles. Just then, they heard someone coughed right at them. They all turned and saw Aizawa, Toshinori, and 𝐀𝐦 coming back towards them. Todoroki was the one who asked first and said, Any news? Aizawa nods. But first, we need explanations about the events. The park is Yuyui property, and I don't know how she infiltrated it without the sensors going off. Everyone's eyes widened at what Aizawa just said. Then Ida and Yaoyorozu volunteered to explain the details. They told about their leisure, their activities, and the things that they all just did before the villain arrived. Midoriya-san was the one who noticed her. She was hiding behind the trees. Then she attacked us. Yaoyorozu tightens her hand into a fist as she grits her teeth in frustration. Ida nods at Yaoyorozu's story. She said that she had some unfinished business with our class. Then when majority of us were paralyzed, the three of them acted as a diversion while we escaped. Everyone then looks at Todoroki and Bakugo, both of them standing at the far corner of the room. Aizawa motioned for them to tell their side, but Bakugo didn't comply and just kept his mouth shut. You two are the only ones who knew what truly happened, 𝐻𝐻𝐬 said as she went near them. But Toshinori held her shoulder, stopping her in place. I need to know. We need to know. Even if it's just small details. Just tell us what happened. Todoroki looks at 𝐻𝐻𝐬, his teachers, and his classmates. They wanted to know. Even if Aizawa-sensei was there. He hasn't seen the full details. Well, Todoroki began. We managed to knock the villain down. But we got distracted that we didn't even know that she was already awake. So she took Bakugo as a hostage first. Everyone's eyes then gazed at Bakugo, who didn't even utter any cussing. He said nothing. It's still the same actually. Akira was mocking us as she used Bakugo for threatening us. But Midoriya was able to stop her. That's what I also saw, Todoroki. Aizawa said as he continues the story. Long story short, she used Midoriya as a new hostage since he got in the way with Bakugo. But we weren't able to apprehend her on time. She bit Midoriya, and we saw that it wasn't just a simple bite mark. Aizawa then looks at 𝐻𝐻𝐬 and Toshinori, along with his students. But from what we've seen and heard, whatever her quirk is, it caused a very scary reaction toward Midoriya. Everyone suddenly stiffens. Neither uttered any word from their mouths. 𝐻𝐻𝐬 gasped as she put her hands on her mouth. Bakugo and Todoroki had it worst. The two of them saw the events forehand. Neither of them uttered a word after that. Luckily, the doctor and Detective Tsukachi came out of Midoriya's room as everyone stood up. How's Midori? Doctor? Ashido asked first. Is the relative of the patient here? Along with the boy who took him here. Both 𝐻𝐻𝐬 and Todoroki quickly went to the doctor. Since they're here, I guess I can tell this to all of you. The doctor clears his throat. The wound isn't that fatal as you all know. He's now awake and he seems fine. Detective Tsukachi and I tried to ask the young boy about what happened. He answered them. But I'm a bit worried about something. Worried? Is something wrong, doctor? 𝐻𝐻𝐬 asked, her voice slowly betraying her calm facade. Tsukachi then decided to continue. We asked him about the time he was bitten to know if there were side effects or anything unusual. He just merely said that he was fine. See, can we come in? Todoroki asked. Of course. The doctor nods. But I advise that you keep an eye on the young lad. We still don't know the effects of the villain's quirk. But don't worry, the police and some pro-heroes are already on the case. Tsukachi stated. We'll find her. Aizawa already told her physical features towards us. It has already been sketched. We'll just keep an eye on her so we can have answers. Now, please excuse me. You can visit Midoriya-kun. The doctor said as he took his leave. Before Tsukachi could leave, he talked to all of them again. Observe the kit, everyone. We had these types of cases, and it ain't a pretty one. It's confidential, so I can't say anything. Tsukachi bows at them and took his leave. After that, Todoroki was the first one to run towards Midoriya's room. He opens the door and saw the green-haired teen looking at the window. Todoroki held the doorknob tightly. The bandages on Midoriya's neck made him feel uncomfortable. The way he saw the green-haired teen at his state, it's like seeing his mother the first time again. The others stood behind Todoroki, but no one said a word. Everyone was frozen from the sight, as they were still trying to comprehend the events and the words of the detective and the doctor. Todoroki took the courage to go forward and called his name. Midoriya. He saw Midoriya's shoulder slightly raised. The green-haired teen turns his head and gave them a small smile. Hey. Then it was all of a sudden. Todoroki couldn't stop himself as he hugged Midoriya, afraid that he'll disappear just like the events of his mother. He held onto the green-haired like his life depended on it. You're okay, Todoroki whispers as he pats Midoriya's back. Why, yeah, Midoriya returns the hug. I'm fine. Everyone then went towards Midoriya. They were careful to not overwhelm him as they sigh in relief. Are you okay, Midoriya? Shoji asked. You gave us quite a scare when we heard what you did. I'm fine, Shoji-kun. Midoriya replies. Good, Kirishima grins. We got very worried for you, especially Todoroki here. Oh, Midoriya suddenly flinched. I'm sorry. They were baffled at the sudden squeak of his voice. Kaminari raised his hands and said, Hey man, it's okay. We're supposed to apologize, not you. But still, please watch over yourself, Midoriya-san. Yaoyorozu sighs. Sorry, I'll try my best. Todoroki suddenly narrows his eyes out of worry. Midoriya, are you really okay? Why, yeah, I'm fine, Todoroki-ku. Midoriya suddenly paused when he saw Bakugo standing at the corner. The blonde noticed the look and immediately went towards the green-haired teen. 𝐀𝐦 Midoriya squeaked, which made the others look at him with worry. You fucking asshat, 𝗵𝘃𝐻 growls. I fucking told you not to get in my fucking way. Damn it, Deku, I don't need your fucking help. He slams the table beside the table. But the way Midoriya flinched was something that surprised them all. I'm sorry, 𝐀𝐦. Even 𝗵𝘃𝐻 noticed it. He hasn't seen that kind of action ever since they entered Yui. The fuck are you doing, shitty nerd? I don't know. Before 𝗵𝘃𝐻 could even say something, Todoroki went beside the two of them, his hand blocking Midoriya from 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Stop it before it gets worse. Who are you to order me, huh? Todoroki grits his teeth. You're causing trouble again, 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Calm down. I don't need you to order me, Aru. Fucking shut up, 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Both of them stopped when they heard the sound of choked sobs. They slowly turned and saw Midoriya covering his ears as tears fell from his eyes. Please, don't, he sniffs. I'm sorry. Todoroki's eyes widens, and Midoriya, he tried to reach out towards him, but Midoriya swats Todoroki's hand. Don't touch me. His voice surprisingly raised as he stares at Todoroki with wide and fear-lidded eyes. And Midoriya, Todoroki was lost for words. Midoriya has never looked so scared in his life. Before the dual-colored team could comfort him, Midoriya suddenly gasps and said, Todoroki-kun, I'm sorry. His voice slowly wavering like he's trying to hold his emotions back. And Midoriya? Todoroki stutters. He's trying to process what just happened to Midoriya. Right now, Todoroki felt that the green-haired teen is disoriented with his surroundings. We should all go and leave him with his mother. Aizawa sighs. He may not be ready yet to see all of us. As much as everyone wanted to protest, they knew that their advisor is right. They had to give Midoriya some space to recover. 𝗵𝘃𝐻 went out first, not liking the events that occurred a few minutes ago. Todoroki knew the urgency of it. If Midoriya is not feeling well to see his classmates, he should just respect his decision. Todoroki pats Midoriya's head. But the green-haired teen suddenly flinches. He then removed his hand and said, Get well soon, Midoriya. He showed him a soft smile. Todoroki just wished that it gave Midoriya some comfort as he left the teen alone with the teachers along with his mother. Midoriya quickly recovers from the ordeal and was sent back to the dorms. Everyone kept the detective and the doctor's words by heart since he got hit by a still unknown quirk. The whole class decided to keep the sudden breakthrough of the villain a secret. They didn't want any unwanted attention when people are able to find out about it. It was now Tuesday and classes are resumed normally. Even with Midoriya's condition, the green-haired teen still said that he'll attend classes for today. Everyone sat at the dining room in their school uniforms. No one hasn't recovered from their once supposed to be fun bonding with the whole class. No one was even in the right mindset to try and make breakfast, so they all settled for some cereals or bread. Everyone tried their best to lighten the mood, but no one seems to even try and crack a smile. In their table, 3 people were still missing: Todoroki, 𝗵𝘃𝐻, and Midoriya. These 3 who are present in the events of the villain. But what made them worry was about Midoriya. From what they've heard, the green-haired teen was the only victim, but no one has still figured out how her quirk works. A few moments later, 𝗵𝘃𝐻 finally came down to the dining room in his uniform. The blonde didn't cuss or even acknowledge them. Rather, he was silent, deadly silent. He just grabs an apple from the table and stood at the far corner of the room. Even he was silent. It was then that Kirishima tried to converse with them. It was all of a sudden. Kaminari then replies, It's not helping, Kirishima. I know that. Kirishima sighs. We're moping too much, guys. Maybe Midoriya is feeling uncomfortable seeing us because of how we're acting right now. What are we supposed to do? Jiro looks at him. Everyone seems distraught right now. Whoever Akira is, her words were scary to some of us. Yaoyorozu nods. She said that she sensed out fears. Maybe that's the reason why she's strong. That villain knew our fear. But now, it seems that Midoriya-kun is the only one who fully knows her quirk. Ida mentions, which made the others narrow their eyes in despair. Todoroki tried to ask him, but Midoriya is still silent about that. Jiro grits her teeth in frustration. What did she even want it from us? Satu asked. It was for fucking revenge. Everyone turned when 𝗵𝘃𝐻 finally spoke. Her sister died from a villain attack, and her brother is one of the villains from the Usti incident. So she has a grudge on us. Yaoyorozu remarked. I don't fucking know. 𝗵𝘃𝐻 narrows his eyes as he threw the apple at the nearest trash bin. He then left the room and towards school. As 𝗵𝘃𝐬 left, they heard footsteps coming towards them. They turned and saw Midoriya and Todoroki walking together toward the dining room. "Hey," Midoriya smiles at them. "Good morning, everyone." Everyone stopped from what they were doing when they heard Midoriya's cheerful voice. It was like the sudden facade from before turned 180 degrees from them. He still had those bandages on his neck. Aizawa gave them pictures of his wound. It was large, but luckily, the wound wasn't fatal. "Gee, good morning, Deku-kun." Uraraka greeted first as she tries to lighten up the mood. "Good morning, everyone." Todoroki also greets back as he stood behind Midoriya. But he shook his head, which signalizes that he hasn't found out yet. Hello, Midoriya-kun. I see that you look cheerful today." Ida greets as he tries to keep up his happy look. "I'm good." Midoriya replies, "I'm just a bit disoriented from last time." Yaoyorozu smiles. "Glad to see that you're okay, Midoriya-san. It's best if you should eat now. We're being to leave in about 30 minutes. "Oh shoot, you're right. // class has gone as normally as possible for them. So far, Aizawa merely told them that the villain is now being looked for. But Yui made sure that Midoriya's case is being kept a secret. They merely just told the press that a random bystander was attacked by her, and is now seeking medical attention. Class 1 could only sigh in relief that all of it is being kept a secret. The only ones who knew this are Yui's staff, Detective Tsukachi, and Class 1A. But of course, while the green-haired teen remains oblivious to it, everyone kept an eye on him just to be sure. So far, there were still no signs of any anomalies other than his sudden outburst when they were back at the hospital. But since Midoriya is still acting like himself, he's fine, right? // Hey, Todoroki-kun. Midoriya greets the dual-colored teen. "Oh, hello, Midoriya." Todoroki greets back as the other teen borrows a seat from Satu. The dual-colored teen noticed Midoriya wanting to sit in front of him. Though it feels nice that he's in front of him, Todoroki slightly felt off to the way Midoriya is looking at him right now, like he was in disbelief, or as if he was trying to make sure of something. Todoroki noticed that he was fidgeting in his hands. "You're shaking, Midoriya." Todoroki noticed the other teen flinched. "Are you all right?" "Why, yeah," Midoriya sheepishly chuckles. "I'm just fidgety. I don't know." Todoroki didn't want to believe it. He noticed that Midoriya still couldn't stop shaking. Todoroki knew that this isn't any ordinary fidgeting. Without any thought, he immediately held Midoriya's hands. The green-haired teen flinched at the sudden contact. But Todoroki remained his grip onto him. He tightens his hold to try to lessen Midoriya's shaking hands. "I don't want to pry. But I'm your friend, Midoriya. I care for your well-being as well." It took every inch of Todoroki to never say that HR wants to be more than friends. As much as that word is now a venom in his mouth, he wants to be beside him as always, no matter what. Thank you, Todoroki-kun." Midoriya gave him a subtle sad smile. "But don't worry, I'm fine." Todoroki wanted to believe those words, that everything is all right. He wanted to think that maybe Midoriya is just not in the mood. How Todoroki wanted to believe in those words. But as he held Midoriya's hands, those trembling fingers within his own, he couldn't find the proper words to say that he knew. Todoroki knew that there is something going on in Midoriya's head. How he wished that he could help the green-haired teen like the way Midoriya helped Todoroki overcome himself. // Uraraka considers herself as Midoriya's friend. She always did after the boy rescued her in their entrance exams. He was extraordinary, and to think that Midoriya will be her classmate. She has seen what he can do. It made Uraraka smile at the thought that Midoriya will truly become an inspiring hero. But of course, like everyone else, they have their breaking point. Uraraka might be a cheerful and bubbly girl, but she can tell if someone is angry of her or so. After the attack of the villain, she felt so distraught at what she heard. Midoriya was attacked, and the quirk is still unknown. She noticed how scared he was when Todoroki and 𝗵𝘃𝐬 almost started fighting. It wasn't surprising, but it was different at the same time. But not when she experienced it firsthand. Uraraka was just going to borrow a pencil from Midoriya. She forgot hers back at the dorms, and it will be troubling if the brunette weren't to take down notes for their lessons. So when she just touched his shoulder unexpectedly, Midoriya violently flinched at her touch and immediately swats her hand. Her eyes widens at the sudden show of hostility. Deku-kun? Midoriya suddenly realized that it was Uraraka all along. His eyes widens when he saw 𝗬𝗧𝐿 feeling surprised and scared at the same time. Fuck. Midoriya suddenly slaps his forehead. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 made a gasp. Never had she heard Midoriya curse. Deku-kun, are you okay? Oh my god. He whispers to himself. I'm sorry, 𝗬𝗧𝐿-san. I didn't know what was in my head just now. I'm sorry. And no, it's fine. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 sheepishly chuckles. I startled you, so it's my fault. I'm sorry. Don't be, Deku-kun. It's my mistake. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 gave him a smile. Before 𝗬𝗧𝐿 could try to console the green-haired teen, he stood up and said, Excuse me. I need to go to the restroom. Midoriya didn't wait for anyone to say anything as he quickly leaves the classroom. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 stood there dumbfounded at the situation. Todoroki and Ida then stood beside her as they stare at the door, where Midoriya left. It was like he was itching to leave. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 could see Todoroki being worried. Even through his stoic facade, she can see the furrow of his eyebrows and his clenching fist. Ida pats her shoulder as he consoles the brunette. The rest of the class also noticed Midoriya's flinching and him running quickly to the restroom. They stare at the green-haired teen with worried eyes. But it wasn't compared to how Todoroki, Ida, 𝗬𝗧𝐿, and 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Even the blonde could pick out that something is fishy, and he didn't like it. 𝗬𝗧𝐿 is Midoriya's friend, and she knows that she's not the only one who noticed it. Something's wrong with Midoriya. / 1 week had passed. They thought it would turn out all right. But that 1 week turned out to be something they never ever expect from someone like Midoriya. For 1 week, he still had the bandages on his neck. Yaoyorozu, Ida, Todoroki, and even majority of the class volunteered to try and check on his wound. But Midoriya would always say no, or would either avoid them when that subject would occur. It didn't take long for them to accept that Midoriya doesn't want others to touch his neck wound. They can't blame him though. It's not every day someone would bite the living daylights out of you with their sharp fang-like teeth. They would have accepted that and stay in a normal atmosphere. But no, it was not. It didn't take long that they finally saw that something is truly wrong with Midoriya. Todoroki noticed it first. It was subtle, but he knew that something is wrong. One time, when he woke up very early at 3 a.m., he saw Midoriya sitting at their common room all alone. The dual-colored teen made him a drink that time in order to make him feel better. But that one sound of the cup being placed on the table, Midoriya flinched. Todoroki tried to ask if he was okay. Midoriya would always nod. No matter how much he wanted to push the matter, nothing. But he noticed two things while he's near Midoriya. He had eye bags in his eyes and his skin is becoming pale. Does he ever get a good night's sleep? Todoroki knew that Midoriya would always stay up late. But now, he knew that this isn't healthy. / then in their class, everyone could see it. Midoriya's shoulders slightly hunched as he walks towards his chair. Every time 𝗵𝘃𝐻 would either look at him, he would flinch and cover his face. No one has ever seen Midoriya show his fear towards 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Even the blonde was a bit irritated by it. All of a sudden, 𝗵𝘃𝐻 held the hem of Midoriya's uniform, dragging the other teen near him. What the fuck is wrong with you? 𝗵𝘃𝐻 exclaims as Midoriya could only whimper at his rage. You are fucking moping around when you know that we have bigger problems to face. Fucking Deku, stop being a baby. 𝗵𝘃𝐻, stop it. You're hurting Deku-kun, 𝗬𝗧𝐿 exclaims. I've had enough with this shit. He needs to snap out of it, and I'll fucking do it. 𝗵𝘃𝐻 throws Midoriya on the ground. Wake the fuck up, Deku. Not everyone is believing your sorry ass. Midoriya merely whimpers and looks down on the floor, never batting an eye towards 𝗵𝘃𝐻. Out of irritation, the blonde slams his hands on the table as sparks hit the wooden desk. But Midoriya shrieked, and he didn't look at him. Fucking wake up, Deku. Snap out of it. 𝗵𝘃𝐻 exclaims. Stop it, 𝗵𝘃𝐻. This will not help Midoriya-kun at all. Ida then ran beside both of them as he covers Midoriya from 𝗵𝘃𝐻. 𝗵𝘃𝐻, stop. You're being unreasonable right now, Kirishima exclaims as he held 𝗵𝘃𝐻's shoulder. He swats Kirishima's hand as he faces Midoriya once more. But before 𝗵𝘃𝐻 could even utter another word, a sharp blow ended up on his face, causing him to crash at a nearby table. He touched the bruised cheek and glares at the culprit. You bastard. Todoroki stood in front of Ida, his left knuckle red and slightly smoking. But his eyes darkens and narrows as he looks at 𝗵𝘃𝐻 with anger. You have got to stop that right now, 𝗵𝘃𝐻. You're not helping anyone in this situation, Todoroki said with a venomous tone. I'm not fucking helping, 𝗵𝗃𝐻 bitterly chuckles. That's a fucking laugh coming from you? All you do is baby him around. Are you listening to yourself, 𝗵𝗃𝐻? Todoroki exclaims. Damn it. You're even worse than my fucking old man. Says who fucking 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐻. Deku can fucking handle himself. He's in a deliberately unwell situation. Stop being so blind, 𝗵𝗃𝐻. Your pride is getting in the way of what you're truly seeing. 𝗵𝗃𝐻 has had enough as he launches at Todoroki. I ain't fucking blind. Before both of them could start a fight, Aizawa activates his quirk and quickly wraps 𝗵𝗃𝐻 with his scarf. The blonde struggles but quickly calms when they all saw Aizawa's look right now. He's completely infuriated with the events. Even Midnight is there just in case things get out of hand. Midnight, take Midoriya to the infirmary. I will handle these brats first. Midnight took his tone in a serious matter, and she quickly assists the green-haired teen toward the infirmary. When they finally left, Aizawa stared at all of them with anger and disappointment. Are you all aiming to be heroes? Aizawa asked them in a venomous tone. Just what are you all doing? Do you think that this will help, Midoriya? You're all stupid to think that. Everyone suddenly stiffens, especially Todoroki, Uraraka, Ida, and 𝗵𝗃𝐻. No one uttered a word even if Aizawa told them to sit down. Everyone in class is slowly tearing themselves apart. After that, Midoriya truly became distant to everyone. Even if they apologized or even asked him to hang out, the green-haired teen would shake his head and immediately turns away. Their Midoriya, the most friendly student in class, didn't bother to hang out with them anymore. He would still talk to them or even indulge in some conversations. But as it slowly goes well, Midoriya would suddenly tell them that he needs to be alone. Even when they tried to follow them in Yui campus, he would always find a way to lose track on him. It hurts for them to think that Midoriya didn't want to stay in their company anymore. As much as they welcome him with open arms, he never came to them. 𝗵𝗃𝐻 had it worst. Since his accidental outburst, he's been more angry than usual. He would punch some random object when Midoriya wouldn't want to acknowledge him. Todoroki even tried everything for Midoriya to talk. He went to his room only to find it locked shut. He tried to text the other teen, but there was no reply. Even the two class representatives. They tried to converse with him in class, or to even check on him in his room. But there was no answer, or he would just acknowledge their presence and that's it. Then they finally experienced it, that Midoriya truly drifted himself away from them. Through breakfast, lunch, dinner. He would never eat together with them. He chose to be alone and didn't want anyone to follow. Then one time, Tokoyami was just about to enter his room when he heard a faint sobbing. He followed the sound until his feet landed just outside Midoriya's room. He leans his head onto the door and heard it, the faint sobbing, and it was like he was trying to contain all of it. Tokoyami gently knocks the door as he heard a sudden thud by the room. Midoriya, Tokoyami calls. Are you all right? I heard something in your room. There was no reply, but as Tokoyami was about to knock on the door again, Midoriya replies back. I am fine. Are you sure? You seem kind of off today? Tokoyami continues to ask as he felt a dread feeling rising in his gut. I'm fine. Tokoyami-kun. I just hit something in my arm. Want me to look on it? And no thanks, Midoriya instantly replies. Why you should go to bed. It's getting late. I see. Tokoyami's eyes narrows out of worry. Just remember that my door is open if you want to chat. Midoriya didn't answer anymore. Tokoyami goes back to his room with a dejected look. Midoriya trusted him before. But now, it seemed that he's afraid of it. Tokoyami gave his trust to him. He just hopes that Midoriya will realize that everyone is open for him. Jiru didn't know why she woke up at 4 a.m. just for a glass of water. But as she arrived in the kitchen, she noticed Midoriya just standing at the kitchen counter. She immediately hit herself by the corner as she observes the other teen. He was currently wearing a yellow cardigan along with his sleepwear. As Jiru squints her eyes, she noticed something within his fingers. They were tiny, sharp, transparent. It was shards of glass. What was Midoriya planning? Jiru didn't want to watch it anymore. She got out of her hiding place and called, Midoriya. The green-haired teen flinches as she noticed Jiru standing a few meters away from him. Jiru said, hello. He gave her a smile, though Jiru winced on how Midoriya is portraying. What are you doing here? It's still early. Jiru pointed out. Oh, I kinda broke our glass. I was just about to clean it up. Midoriya nervously chuckles. I got it. You can continue what you were about to do. Nonsense. I'll help you with that. 𝐲𝐸 offered. And don't say no, I'll still do it. Midoriya meekly nods as 𝐲𝐸 smiles. Good. Let me get the dustpan. 𝐲𝐸 grabs some from the cabinets as she helps Midoriya in cleaning the shards. He took the larger pieces as 𝐲𝐸 sweeps them. They were finished, but 𝐲𝐸 stops from sweeping when she noticed it. By the sleeve of his cardigans were bandages. She didn't know if she saw blood on it. This made her worry so much at the thought of what he was really planning to do with these shards. Midoriya. 𝐲𝐸 stutters, unsure what to say from the sudden discovery. Bandages. Where and when did you get that? 𝐲𝐸 saw how Midoriya suddenly flinched and yanked his sleeve down. Her eyes remained fixated on his sleeves as she drops the broom. Midoriya. It was from training, Midoriya quickly answers. Yeah, some bruises and scrapes that I got while training. But? 𝐲𝐸 began. We didn't have any training for the past few days. It was personal training, Midoriya blurted out. I'm sorry, 𝐲𝐸-san, but I'm feeling a bit tired. Good night. Midoriya quickly ran away from 𝐲𝐸 without batting an eye. The earphone quirk user merely stares at the glass that Midoriya touched. She didn't want to think about it, nor did she ever want to believe it. But by those shards, she saw a tiny drop of blood on it. / days continued to pass, but it didn't take them to see it better. Midoriya got worse throughout the days. Through their subtle, horrified faces, they could see that Midoriya's uniform slowly got loose like it is merely hanging by his shoulders. They wanted to ask him or to even call him. But it's like he became deaf to everyone's voices. Their concerned voices can't reach onto him. Even if they reached out their hands, or even give him comfort, Midoriya would violently push them away. It isn't fair. They allowed Midoriya to reach onto them. Why doesn't he allow his classmates to reach out onto him? Everyone became worried at Midoriya's sudden change in physical and emotional aspect. Even while trailing the green-haired teen, they would always see that the teachers are trying to help him. Toshinori didn't even look well when facing the teen. Even if they finally knew All Might's secrets, it's like Midoriya doesn't. Even if Toshinori would say something inspiring, it's like the green-haired teen doesn't give a care anymore. Aizawa might not be there, but they knew that he was helping by catching the culprit who did all of this. They all wanted their sunshine boy back. But with how Akira stayed hidden and crafty, she couldn't be found so easily. When Midoriya left the classroom again, that's where everyone started to release their stress. It was Todoroki who did it first as he suddenly slams his table and grits his teeth. Damn her. Why? Why should it be Midoriya? Todoroki could only cover his eyes in frustration. Ida and Uraraka went beside him as they did their best to console the dual-colored teen. Todoroki-kun, you're not the only one who is feeling this. Uraraka consoles him. Please don't go through this by yourself. Uraraka-san is right. Ida nods, though his mood is as worse as Todoroki as well. Let's try to be strong for Midoriya until we find what's wrong with him. Still. They all turned when they heard Zero suddenly speaking. If I knew that this would happen, I would have used my quirk to tie that villain down. It's also my fault. Shoji interjects. I can sense if there was someone in the vicinity. I failed in protecting my classmate as well. Everyone. Yaoyorozu then stood up as everyone looked at her. Blaming ourselves won't solve anything. I hate to agree about this, but Bakugo is right. We must do something. But how? Ashido asks. We all tried, but he pushed us away. I know that. We all know that. Yaoyorozu grits her teeth. But Midoriya is our friend. Waiting and moping won't help neither of us. I'm sorry, but we need to force Midoriya to talk. Everyone gasped at Yaoyorozu's suggestion. She knew that it is absurd. But the situation that they are in right now, Yaoyorozu knew that they have no choice. I know that it will hurt him. But it's better if we get him to talk about all of this. No more hiding, no more waiting. We didn't solve this for a week already. Tomorrow night, we confront him. No exceptions. Everyone looked at Yaoyorozu with worried eyes. But they paid attention to what she said. They all knew that they have no other choices left. It must be truly done before it's too late. ////. Next day, Aizawa was having a major headache at the situation that he is in right now. After days of looking for the villain, she was finally captured and apprehended. The police quickly gave her quirk restraining handcuffs as she was taken to the interrogation room. Detective Tsukauchi was the first one to ask her questions. But Akira merely laughed and also spits at him. You know the consequences if you don't answer right, 𝐲𝐿 pointed out. Now, tell us, Akira, what did you do to this student? He shows the picture of Midoriya to her. Akira merely laughs and replies, You think I would tell you? You've got to be so stupid to think about that. Sorry, sweetheart, I ain't talking. Aizawa glares at the woman, but it had no effect on her. Even with that scary glare of yours, I won't say any shit, Eraserhead. Why should I? Bidding that kid feels good as fuck. She laughs at both of their demise. Aizawa then slams his hand in front of her. That's my student, and you harmed him, Akira. I had enough of your games. Akira didn't even flinch. Rather, she merely enjoyed the look Aizawa is showing right now. Well, this is truly entertaining, Eraserhead. Never thought that you would care for a bunch of self-centered brats. Aizawa clenched his fist. Even if he knew that some of them are like that, he knew every challenge that his students faced throughout their school days. Even as first years, they were exposed at the dark side of the world. He also knew that there are some who already experienced it firsthand. The pro hero wanted to punch her, but he knew that it wouldn't even work. What do you really want, Akira? Aizawa asked in a venomous tone. Revenge. An eye for an eye, right? Akira smirks. My quirk will handle that. As for myself, being in this shithole won't make me feel any discomfort at all. I tasted your student, Midoriya Izuku, right? He's very delectable for such a young age. Such a shame though. Fucking society, the people around him, they failed to even save that kid. What do you mean? Akira's eyes brightens. Oh, has that caught your interest? Ha ha ha. She laughs hysterically. You know, in the world of pro heroes, you're all shitty. Pride is such a terror to your pure intentions. It's a big wonder why the kid isn't even a villain yet. What do you know about Midoriya Izuku, Akira? Aizawa now raised his voice. She smirked like she has won the battle, everything. Ever heard of Midoriya Hisashi? I know you do, and that's your first clue. The look that Aizawa gave made Akira laugh at his demise. You're all hypocrites, and that kid is the living proof. Aizawa has had enough of it. 𝐲𝐿 wasn't able to stop him as the pro hero grabbed her neck, threatening to be held tightly when provoked. What is your quirk? Answer me now. Akira smirks as she spits on Aizawa's face, causing him to let go of her neck. I repeat my fucking sentence. Not in a million years. Ha ha ha. Aizawa wiped the spit as he furiously got out of the room. 𝐲𝐿 soon followed as he ordered the two polices to guard the room. Toshinori stood at the corner as he listened to every word the villain said to them. Aizawa. I'm angry right now, 𝐲𝐿. Aizawa spats. We don't have much time. I've seen what Midoriya looks like, and I'll be damned if we weren't able to solve this. This is not the time to be angry, Aizawa. I know that Midoriya is in a grave condition. But Naomasa, every one of us hasn't got enough sleep. Toshinori suddenly interjects. I am horrified when I saw him closely. He's been avoiding all of us, and it seems that her quirk is getting worse. He clenches his fist as he grits his teeth. Damn it. He's like a son to me. You haven't seen him in person for the past week. 𝐲𝐿 could only look at the two pro heroes as they either clenched their fists or even covered their eyes. From what they told him, Midoriya has gotten worse in terms of both his physical and emotional aspect. They haven't included his mental aspect since he was pretty subtle in showing it. But they knew that they were running out of time. Sir, a police officer came in along with someone. A student requested to come here. He said that he was asked to come. Aizawa said. Bring him here. I was the one who requested for him to come. The officer nods as he lets the boy in. Hello, Aizawa-sensei. I'm here to help. Glad you agreed to it, Shinsu Hitoshi. Shinsu didn't expect for a pro hero to suddenly call him during his leisure. He was just at his dorms, busy with his homework when his phone rang. Hello? You're Shinsu Hitoshi, right? I am Eraserhead, or Aizawa shouted, advisor of Class 1A. Shinsu arched an eyebrow at the caller. He knew Eraserhead, but he didn't expect for him to call someone from General Studies. I have to be blunt. By what's the reason for this call, sensei? Good, I hate to beat around the bush. Aizawa sighs. Shinsu, we need your help. Help. Shinsu finally held the phone tightly as he ignores his homework. I'm not sure if I'm the right one for the job, sir. There are some who are capable, right? No, you're the only one who can help us. It's about my student, Midoriya Izuku. Shinsu held the phone even tighter as he heard Midoriya's name. He considers the green-haired teen as his friend. He even accompanied Shinsu in cat cafes and meetups many times. But what he can't forget was the time Midoriya opened up at the sports festival. What about Midoriya-sensei? Is he alright? Shinsu tried his best to keep his voice calm, but with his voice shaky and a bit rising, he knew that something happened to him. He was hit by a mysterious quirk. We already caught the villain, but she won't spill. Right now, we all fear for his well-being. We noticed a lot of things from Midoriya. The only conclusion we can get is that only he knew the quirk, and it's slowly eating him from the inside. What? Shinsu suddenly raised his voice. He may have told you about that, right? Midoriya, you selfless bastard. He grits his teeth. He never told you anything. He didn't. We may thought that the quirk is making him silent through its effects. We truly need your help, Shinsu. Time is running out. Shinsu tightens the grip on his phone. He couldn't imagine the situation Midoriya is in right now. But he can feel Aizawa's tone from the phone. The pro hero is also scared and worried. He considers the green-haired teen as his first friend. Someone so dedicated, so kind. Why does it have to be Midoriya? He grits his teeth. Among many assholes in this world. Why does it have to be him? He then replies, "Where are you? I'll be there in a few minutes." Aizawa motioned for him to enter, to which Shinsu did without hesitation. Akira saw him enter as she arched an eyebrow. Shinsu took a seat in front of her and said, "Hello." Akira snorts. "What are you doing here, kid? You know that this is a place for grown-ups, right?" "I'm aware." Shinsu replies, "I just want to take a good look at you first before I go and ask you something." Ha ha ha, Akira laughs as she shakes the chair that is tied onto her body. "I can't believe this. A kid is going to ask me grown-up questions. Huh, such humor. I would find that enjoyable maybe, but I'm here for a reason." Shinsu narrows his eyes. "It's about Midoriya Izuku." "Oh, that kid? What about that dead meat?" she smirks. "Is he a friend of yours, kiddo?" "As a matter of fact, I am." Shinsu fought the urge to raise his voice. "I've heard what you did. I may not know the full details. I'm infuriated that you would dare to hurt my friend." "Awa, I didn't hurt that green bean." She grins maliciously. "I just showed him the truth." "That's a load of bull." Shinsu spats. "Coming from your tone, I can see that you did something horrifying." He then glares at her with full hatred. "And I want to know. What makes you think I'll ta?" Akira didn't get the chance to reply as Shinsu finally activated his quirk. "I forgot to mention. I have the ability to brainwash people if they were to answer back. Even for a strong villain like you, you can be pretty stupid." Shinsu then sighs as he finally spoke. "What was the reason for the attack?" "Revenge heroes. They killed my sister, and they got my brother." "Are any of your siblings a villain?" "My brother. I see." Shinsu paused as he saw looks onto the mirror. He knows that the people watching are now listening and taking down notes. Shinsu faces Akira once more and continues. "Why did you pick Midoriya as your victim?" "It was supposed to be that blonde kid, but when he stopped me, I sensed his fear along the hidden ones." "What do you mean?" Shinsu narrows his eyes. "Explain it along with your quirk." "My quirk is called Endless Nightmares. The minor explanation of it is that when I sense someone's fear, I gain strength from it. But the main use of my quirk is to show them one's greatest fear and trauma, but it has to be injected through the bloodstream of the victim. But when I bite the victim, I get to see his memories in one flash." "So when you bit Midoriya, your quirk activated?" "Yes." "What are the effects?" Shinsu asked as he grits his teeth. "My quirk will put the victim under the influence of his nightmares and bad memories. Every trauma, every pain, every fear the victim has, along with the hidden ones, it will consume his mind, his body, and it will affect every aspect of himself, until to the point of insanity." Shinsu's eyes widens as he stood up. How can we stop it? Tell me." "One must end his life in order for the insanity to end." Shinsu slams his hand at the table. But Akira didn't flinch, and she remains emotionless. "How do you know that?" "How sure?" "I witnessed it because I killed my father. I put him into insanity, and the only way it can be stopped is if the victim ends their life." "What did you see in Midoriya's memories?" Shinsu now raised his voice. "What made him like that?" "Hopelessness, abuse, rape, bullying, trauma, harsh reality." Shinsu's eyes widen even more as he backs away. The word rape made him want to know. But he could see that he will never handle it well. How much time? Before killing himself?" "Tonight, at exactly 6:30 p.m. I heard his thoughts." He's about to take a dive off the roof. Oh my god. 𝐸𝐴 suddenly collapses out of fear. Oh my god. Oh my god. 𝐸𝐴 quickly deactivates his quirk as he ran out of the room. He was breathing heavily at what he just heard. The information that he has right now is trying to process in his mind. He tried to calm down, but he knew that he couldn't. He glanced at his phone and saw the time, 6:20 p.m. Fuck. I have to run. I have to warn them. 𝐸𝐴 didn't wait for Aizawa or even Toshinori to talk to him. He quickly ran out of the police station and quickens his pace. He didn't care if he bumped into numerous people. Right now he had to save his friend. 𝐸𝐴 took his phone from his pocket as he scrolls down the list of his contacts. He only had 2 numbers from Class 1A. He then pressed Midoriya's icon as the phone rang. Answer. Please answer. Midoriya. 𝐸𝐴 prays to every deity that the green-haired teen, only to switch into voicemail. Damn it. He then scrolls up to see another contact. He didn't know why there was a number of someone he never expects to ever call, ever. But it's different. Even if 𝐸𝐴 doesn't like it, he has to put up with it. He had to save Midoriya. / 30 minutes before. It was their weekly movie night, and everyone was getting ready for it. Class 1A made sure that there were pillows, snacks, and even beverages ready for everyone's enjoyment. After their discussion yesterday, it took them a while before they can truly accept it. So they all planned to invite Midoriya to help him calm down. They were thinking that their movie would be about comedy today, so that they are able to lighten up his mood, then have him talk about it. It may be a good start, and it might involve a lot of pursuing. But at least it was better than nothing. Hey, Midoriya will join us, right? Jiro suddenly spoke as she sets up the pillows in the sofa. Yeah, Uraraka nods. We already planned that Ida-kun and Todoroki-kun will go up to convince him. Yaoyorozu sighs as she places the mugs in their center table. I just hope that Bakugo will try to join, even if it's only as Midoriya-san's classmate. We can't change anything, Yaoyorozu-chan, Kiro. Asui replies. Bakugo's personality is something we can't easily understand. It's like only Kirishima and Midoriya-chan can read him like an open book. Then they saw Todoroki and Ida enter the living room with a dejected look. But the dual-colored teen looked more dejected than the spectacle-wearing teen. The rest of the girls quickly head towards them. Any luck? Yaoyorozu asked, but both of them shook their heads. We tried knocking on his door, but he wouldn't answer. Ida said. Todoroki nods. I tried contacting him. He didn't answer. I don't know about this, but I'm starting to feel worried. Ashido pats Todoroki's shoulder and smiles. Don't worry, do. We'll make sure that Midori will be back to his mumbling self. It's him after all, our ray of sunshine. Todoroki slightly smiles. I guess I'm just being paranoid. Every one of us is worried for Midoriya. Hagakure interjects. But let's try to be positive for him. Maybe it can help. Hagakure-san is right. Staying positive is a good way to influence Midoriya-kun, Ida exclaims as his hands form a fist. Just as they were continuing their discussion, the rest of Class 1A quickly enters the common room with some pillows, blankets, and DVDs. What surprised them even more was that Bakugo is just behind the others with blankets and pillows. EA? Jiro points at the blonde. What, earphone girl? Bakugo said. His tone showed irritation. Why you came? Even Uraraka couldn't believe that their explode boy would just join them. It's none of your fucking business if I join this shitty hangout. Bakugo exclaims. Aizawa-sensei just threatened me to join. He didn't. Kirishima chuckles. Shut the fuck up, spike-haired bastard, Tokoyami sighs. Even in this situation, Bakugo would still be as loud and as obnoxious as ever. What did you say, bird brain? Yaoyorozu could only pinch the bridge of her nose when the group became noisy again. But she still sighs in relief at the sight. It's like those normal times, when we had nothing to worry about. It's nice to see that this wild scenario can still happen. She chuckles as she stood beside Todoroki. Todoroki nods as his eyes gazed at the floor. I just wish that Midoriya could be here to enjoy this. Both of them were about to tell them to be quiet, but their voice became silent. The others noticed Yaoyorozu and Todoroki's sudden silence. The others turned to where they were looking only to see Midoriya entering the common room. Midoriya, Todoroki sharply inhales as he noticed the teen standing in front of them. They didn't know how to react properly. Midoriya is in front of them, wearing a yellow hoodie and simple jeans. He smiles at them, but some could see that they were distant and untrue. Midori. Ashido was the first one to break their trance. Perfect timing. You know what today is, right? Oh, of course, he replies with a smile, but neither notice Bakugo and Todoroki suddenly flinching from the smile. Yeah, we thought that you wouldn't make it, but luckily, you did. Ashido grins as he held Midoriya's hand, only for the green-haired teen to swat it away. Wow, you all didn't have to do that, guys. You could just start the movie while I'm gone. Midoriya replies. Nonsense, Midoriya-kun, Ida interjects. You're our friend. It's better if we were to wait for you so that we can watch it together. The whole class smiled when they saw Midoriya's lips curving upward. It was a progress to them that he was able to smile in front of them. You all are the best, Midoriya whispers. You've always been. Awa, Midoriya, you're also the best, Hagakure exclaims. Yeah, dude, you're awesome, Kirishima grins as he gave the green-haired teen a thumbs up. Now, do you have something to do before we start? Satu asked. You should hurry. I baked some treats, and I'm sure that you'll love them. Will do, Satu-kun. Midoriya replies. Takoyami and Shoji then went towards him as they gave Midoriya a pat in both the head and his shoulder. Hurry up, all right? Don't make us wait long. Takoyami smiles. He's right. Bakugo will get mad if you don't return. Shoji chuckles. Shut up, tentacle boy, Bakugo exclaims. Just fucking hurry back down, shitty nerd. Midoriya slightly flinches, but still showed a smile toward Bakugo. Of course, Kaken. The blonde grumbles as he turns his head away. Midoriya slightly chuckles as he turns his head towards the other way, only to face Todoroki in the eye. The dual quirk user looks at Midoriya, his eyes fixated on those green orbs. Todoroki could see it, pale skin, eye bags, and the bandage on his neck. He wanted to know some answers, but he knew his priority first. For the first time, he let his heart take action rather than his brain. He hugs Midoriya tightly in his arms like his life depends on it. Todoroki leans his nose on the other's curly locks as his hands caresses his back. Todoroki could hear the other whistle. But he didn't care. He just wanted to feel Midoriya in his arms. And he wanted the green-haired teen to feel that he deeply cares for him. Todoroki-kun. See, come back, okay? Todoroki forced a soft smile towards the green-haired teen. Let's share the sofa together along with the snacks. Then after this, I want to talk to you in my room. Midoriya, let's have a sleepover, okay? Midoriya meekly nods as he snuggles in his chest. Okay, I promise. Todoroki fought the urge to cry. He didn't know why his heart ached when Midoriya said those words. It's like there is this feeling that the green-haired teen will leave those words hanging. Todoroki didn't want to believe it. But he knew that something will happen. When Midoriya quickly ran towards the elevator, his hand was still raised, like he was reaching out toward the green-haired teen. No one may have noticed, but it's like he felt something wet in his shirt. Whatever this dreaded feeling is, please, I hope that it's just a foe. He whispers to himself. Suddenly, they heard someone's phone ringing near their vicinity. They all looked for the source and heard that it was Bakugo's cell phone. Kirishima arched an eyebrow when he noticed that the blonde isn't answering the calls. Dude, answer it. Kirishima said. It might be important. You've been ignoring his calls for 7 times already. Bakugo groans. That fucking zombie is irritating. I swear if this is shitty, I'm going to roast him to bits. He quickly took the phone in his pocket and answers. What, eye bags? Bakugo, Shinsu exclaims on the phone. Are all of your classmates with you? Ha! What kind of stupid question is that? I'm fucking goddamn it, Bakugo. This is fucking serious. Shinsu exclaims with utmost rage and frustration. Bakugo could hear that he was panting hard. I repeat, is the whole class with you? Why yeah, Bakugo replies as he sensed the urgency. Put this on speaker mode now. I need to talk to all of you, hurry. Bakugo then puts his phone on the center table as everyone gathered. They saw Bakugo's look getting serious, so they all complied to gather near the blonde. He then puts it on speaker mode and said, All right, eye bags, I got it on speaker mode. Good, Shinsu exclaims. I can't explain much right now. I'm running as fast as I can back to Yui. Is something wrong, Shinsu-kun? Ojiro asked. Since all of you are there, is Midoriya with you? No one answered but Shoji himself. Heichi isn't with us. Fuck. They all flinched when Shinsu suddenly cussed. We don't have much time, so I want every one of you to listen. I already know the villain's quirk. I can't explain it right now. What is it? Kirishima exclaims. I'll explain it to all of you when I get there. Right now, you have to find Midoriya as fast as you all can. She said it herself. Midoriya is going to die at exactly 6:30 p.m. Everyone suddenly stiffens as their reactions were all the same. They suddenly felt horrified by the news, and neither of them didn't want to believe it. Todoroki was the only one brave enough to check his phone. 6:25 p.m. We only have 5 minutes. He suddenly exclaims, which earned a gasp and terrified shriek from others. I'm hanging up. Find him now. They all didn't wait for Shinsu to hang up, nor for Bakugo to get his phone, as everyone ran towards their first destination, Midoriya's room. Some took the elevator while Todoroki, Bakugo, and the others took the stairs. Those two even had to use their quirk just to get up as quickly as they can. Todoroki and the 𝐻𝐻 got up first as they ran toward Midoriya's room. The dual quirk user tries to open the door only to find it locked shut. The others arrived when they saw Todoroki trying to open the door. He locked it. Fuck, Todoroki exclaims. Jiru then quickly inserts her earplugs as she looks for any sound in Midoriya's room. No sound. Someone open his door now. Fuck, get out of the way. They quickly stepped aside when they saw Bakugo blasting the door open. Smoke covers the room, and it slowly clears out. But they suddenly choked up their saliva at the sight. Something that no one had ever suspected from Midoriya, their precious classmate. Cryptid messages written in blood. They were written in his wall and his floor. I'm sorry. Useless. Forgive me. Stupid. Quirkless. Pain. Quit. I quit. Oh my god. Uraraka could only cover her mouth, and suddenly kneels down on the floor at the horrific sight. Deku-kun. Why, you've got to be kidding. Right? Jiru didn't want to believe at what she just saw. By his bed, his table, everywhere, there were bloodied bandages and even numerous bloody cutters. This, I noticed it. I saw it. Jiru could feel her eyes becoming watery from the horrific sight. Bakugo and Todoroki were the only brave ones to quickly enter the room. Bakugo went on to check every corner as Todoroki proceeded to touch the walls. It's all fresh. Todoroki flinches as he touches the blood. It's like he did this a few minutes ago. Shit, Bakugo gasps as he touches the bloody bandages and cloths. Not all of these are fresh. Fuck, where is Deku's phone? Only Todoroki and Bakugo were brave enough to still stay at the room as they looked for further clues. But when the dual-colored teen suddenly bumps on Midoriya's table, a picture frame fell and cracked its glass. Todoroki quickly picks it up and saw that it was a picture of Class 1A. But he tightens his grip when he saw ballpen ink covering Midoriya's face. His fingers were shaking when he turns the picture. Goodbye. Ice-hot, Bakugo exclaims. I found his fucking phone. Bakugo and Todoroki quickly got out of the room as they showed Midoriya's cracked phone. It was like he was trying so hard to not contact them. With a shaking hand, Bakugo opens it only for everyone to gasp in terror. 6:28 p.m. Fuck. Bakugo suddenly drops Midoriya's phone. We've got to fucking find him now. Midoriya always goes to the back of the building, Todoroki exclaims. I'll go at the back and see if he's in there. Bakugo suddenly punches the wall, which startled everyone. They saw the look of terror as his face slowly goes pale. Fuck. 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 Shit, Ice-hot. You're coming with me at the back. The rest of you, go to the fucking rooftop. What do you mean by? Ida was startled when Bakugo suddenly grabs his shoulder. Just fucking go, now. Bakugo didn't wait for their response as he drags Todoroki down the stairs. Todoroki let adrenaline course through his body as they ran as quickly as they can towards the back door. But the dual-colored teen could hear him mumble something. It was like Bakugo was begging for something to never happen. Something that the blonde has never wanted to relieve ever again. But as they got out of the back door, their world began to slow down. They smelled it. That metallic scent. Something that is dead. They knew that they're close. Todoroki prayed that it wasn't him. Oh, how he begged every god there is that it's just some dead animal. Bakugo grits his teeth as he silently prays that it's all just a joke from the universe. He and Midoriya have now reached their common ground. He doesn't want to relive those memories ever again. But fate is so cruel as they finally found the source. How both of them wished that it was just some illusion quirk, or maybe a prank that Midoriya is playing against them. But it only took Todoroki to check the pulse of that corpse. His whole world is shattered. Dead. Dead. No pulse. Midoriya. It's a lie, right? Todoroki chokes as he held the bloody hand of that person. Why, you're kidding, right? Bloodied wrist. Bloodied neck. Pale skin. Eye bags. Wrist cuts. Neck wound. It's a prank, right? Very funny. Midoriya. Todoroki forced a smile as he shakes the corpse's hand. Wake up, Midoriya. I'm here. I'm here. But there was no response. Midoriya's cold corpse lies on the green bloodied grass. Todoroki held his hand as he tries to shake him awake. He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to feel it. Midoriya is dead. He just jumped from the rooftop. No, no. Tears started to fall in Todoroki's eyes. You agreed that we'll have the sleepover. You agreed that we'll have the movie night along with our C classmates. There was no response. He could only hear the sudden scream from the distance. He knew that his classmates had already seen it. He knew that they couldn't even believe what they were seeing. Why? Todoroki's voice suddenly raised as his tears continues to flow. I. You promised. Why? He chokes as he held Midoriya's body onto his. He didn't care if there was blood or if he'll get stained. Todoroki just held Midoriya onto his. There was no heartbeat. There was no pulse. There was nothing. I didn't even. He held Midoriya tightly. I didn't even got the chance to say it. Bakugo was just in shock as well at the sight of Midoriya being dead. But he easily got a hold of himself when he already saw Todoroki crying while holding Midoriya's body. Fuck. Bakugo bit the urge to not cry himself. He needs to get everyone to move right now. He needs Todoroki to calm himself. Todoroki, Bakugo exclaims as he held both his shoulders. You have to fucking snap out of it. We need to get the teachers. Todoroki shook his head as he held Midoriya tightly in his arms. And no. Fuck. We need help in here. You have to snap out of it. Bakugo tried. He knew that his tears were starting to fall as well. But they need to call for help. I didn't tell him. Todoroki suddenly looks at Bakugo. Tears were falling on both his eyes. His cheeks had blood from hugging the corpse along with his clothes. He chokes a sob as his tears continues to flow. I didn't get to say that I love him. Bakugo could only gasp when Todoroki said it straight to his eyes. That once stoic gaze became filled with denial, betrayal, despair, and grief. The blonde knew that Todoroki isn't in his right mind right now. The only thing he could do is run. He ran away to look for help, leaving Todoroki to feel Midoriya's lifeless corpse. Todoroki continues to hug Midoriya when Bakugo left him. He didn't care if he could hear his classmates' screams. He didn't care if he could hear their teachers finally arriving at the scene. He violently fought the others when they separate him with Midoriya. He didn't want to leave the green-haired teen. He didn't care. Why should he? Midoriya, someone who is worth living in his life. Someone who is treasured more than anything. Midoriya, his friend. His first crush. His first love. Committed suicide. He died. It was a sad death. Todoroki didn't know what he could do anymore. Midoriya is dead. Someone so precious in this world. He's already dead when Todoroki held him on his arms. Those cold fingers, his bloody figure. It all over. Life isn't worth living without him.